their very first comments when they were driving around, and I was like, they're like, wow, this is really, really intimate around here. I'm like, yeah, everybody kind of knows each other's cars and knows everything kind of. It's small town. The first question they asked was like, how do people commit adultery out here?
Oh Lord.
That was their first
Oh my
question.
gosh.
And I'm like, you'd think it'd be difficult, but it still happens, my friend. Totally. It was just like the wildest first impression. It was great. Totally great.
Totally great.
So Vince, you take it away, and then I got some good stories, and we're going to share some closing stuff, some of the best stuff that I got in my ether when it comes to closing. But Vince, give us a little tour. Take it away.
Rock and roll, y'all. Well, I'm excited y'all are here. I know that tonight we're doing a little bit different. This is kind of like an in family deal, but also we kind of let some other people come on inside. So it might be the first time you check us out, but right here we got the Internet Lifestyle Network family on Facebook, and probably the most vibrant community I've ever seen in my life. So all you guys, I just want to say I appreciate y'all. Thank you so much for working so hard and just making this dream come alive for everybody you're around. What I want to do is just, I'll give you a little rundown. Tonight, we're going to go over a little bit of what Mark has kind of shared with me exactly what, literally, I mean, this is like no joke, what took me from like just average business to making $30,000 like within the next 15 days. What you guys are going to see tonight, it's insane. So he's going to share literally what he used to close millions of dollars. Like the first 3 years of your business, right, Mark? You had a $3 million business in 3 years or something like that, right? Something crazy.
Our volume was 3.2 million in about 14 months,
That's
actually.
that's
And that
crazy.
was team volume. But at the end of the day, I was closing about all of that initially.
Right.
I
Awesome.
was doing webinars, I was doing the three-way phone calls, I was, living on the phone. And what I was doing, little background, is I was taking notes on every call I took, almost like an OCD obsessive. I wanted to have friction free. I wanted to close effectively, but I didn't want to be pushy and I didn't want to be hard. I didn't want to be off-putting. And so I would take notes, and the notes were mainly on the mistakes that I made. Like, what did I say? How did I sound off-putting? How did I seem forceful? Was there any feeling of manipulation, overpressure? And I really created a kind of formula that, I still use.
Speaking of overpressure, that's like so exactly kind of what we do around here. Like this is probably the most transparent. I was talking about that today. It's like just so transparent around here. And it's kind of the way that I learned from you, kind of just from the top down as we just teach people. It's not really a sales pitch anymore. It's just really about, kind of digging into people's visions and their futures and where they really want to go with their life. And that's really what you got kind of instilled in me. So pumped about that. We're going to talk also about the live event that we're going to be releasing. Well, we released most of the details right here. It's going to be in Phoenix, Arizona from August 23rd to 24th. Pumped about that, Mark. Freaking, we finally nailed those dates down, so we're excited about that. Um, so we'll talk about that tonight. First movers tonight are going to get and take advantage of some super crazy deals. As you can see right here, the first 50 people to register tonight after this webinar are going to only pay 45 bucks, the next 50, 95, the next 50, 145, and so on. And we're only going to take 200 tickets tonight within the next 24 hours, just for the people who might be, I guess, sleeping because they're overseas, things like that. So we're going to give 24 hours for this to go down. And then we're going to open up the inner circle right at 9 p.m. Eastern. For those of you guys who are on here that know what the inner circle is, I know you guys are pumped and excited. We already had a few people test it for us, make sure it's all going down great. And then, like I said, we're going to give you the laughably low. I got that from you, Mark, when you were saying the audio, laughably low special pricing event ticket. So we're going to run that. So basically, Inner Circle, who takes action on the Inner Circle tonight, is going to get the first mover's advantage on these tickets that we're going to release. So let's talk a little bit about what's going on here. For those of you guys who are new here that just kind of maybe are spying on us, is what we call it. What this is the Internet Lifestyle Network University. People are jumping inside of here. They're getting access to all of Mark's wisdom and all of my wisdom about marketing and really kind of forming and attracting people to me online kind of situations. How we basically built, this community right here of almost 2,000 people literally within the last just couple months. It really comes down to Mark's wisdom, mixed with some of my marketing and some of the attraction marketing with Clifton and Ashley up here, our other co-founders, doing all the beautiful design work and things like that as well, and actually making this university. So very cool. All right, so rock and roll. What we're going to do is I'm just going to give you a little tour back here. Basically, when you log into the university, you'll see this little welcome video from me. You'll click here to get started. Actually, I want to show you guys something real quick. This is exciting for me. Right down here, we put our points winners of the month, and we also put our top 3 video challenge winners and our affiliates of the week. And then down here is our July action game. We just released this the other day, so for those of you guys who are on here, many of you guys probably haven't seen this yet. But we have some cool prizes that we do as well for people who take action. What's cool about us is we don't just reward affiliates who have huge lists and things like that. These action games are really about how much action people are taking. It doesn't have anything to do with how much income you're making, because we know if you're doing the action game, then you're going to automatically have income anyways. So it's pretty cool. So we got all these neat little prizes. You guys can check that out when you get access in here. We got this $300 pin, and that goes back to one of your trainings, Mark. Heather Martin's looked at these, and Mark, you were talking about something about writing with a pin, and I actually, to be honest, forget about it. What is the backstory on that?
Well, the short story on it is everything's an extension of us, right? Everything we wear, how we keep our house, how we keep our mind, how we portray our words, it's all a reflection of our inside game. And so what I believe is that your signature and your name is valuable the minute you believe it's valuable. It counts the minute you believe it counts. And what I did when I was literally, you guys, I don't know how many, everyone knows my story, but I was in a mobile home for years. We qualified for welfare for 5 years. I was born in a mobile home. I think I've lived in 4. And when I decided, you know what, I want to up my game, I bought myself like a $40 pen, which was, just something symbolic that from now on, Mark Hoverson, that name, what I put my name on, what I sign, what I write, my words are going to be precious. They're going to be valuable, because there's a proverb that says, it's said, don't quote me verbatim, but the feeling is, from the mouth of the righteous are like apples of gold in settings of silver, right? So their tongue is actually valuable, what they say, and then the words they type, there's value there. So I just began recognizing value and believing value into my life. And literally, I signed very specifically, when I signed my closing on my house, there's my pen that I started with. And I said, this is crazy. I'm buying a brand new house, signing it with money that I made from basically my words. And I signed it with a pen. Today, I signed a contract with a different company, and it was a several $1,000 kind of situation. And I sign it with that same pen. And I've inked contracts that have made, agreements that have made $1 million, and I've inked them all with that pen. And so really the idea of the expensive pen is that it's not that, hey, I have an expensive pen, it's that I recognize that my signature matters. It actually matters. And it was just an acknowledgement, and it was more of a reminder for me that words matter and that there's value in them. So raise your hand if that makes sense. So that's kind of the short story behind, and when you get into Solomon CEO, I talk a lot about people saying it's just a, right? Well, it's just a pen. It's just a chair. It's just a computer. And then the next thing you know, it's just your son. It's just your wife, and it just minimizes everything in your life. So what we want to do is we want to bring more meaning into everything we do. So I'm going on a tangent.
I love it. Yeah, okay. That brings it all back. Yeah, I just forgot that certain aspect. But Heather just went over the training, so she was digging it. All right, cool. So, yeah, I mean, that pin's insane. It's absolutely going to be, I'm wanting to get one now. So then we also got the bamboo splash pin that you'll see that Mark's going to be drawing on the screen here in a little bit. It made him millions. So hopefully it'll make you guys millions. So, all right, let's dive in. All right, so what you're going to do when you get access inside the university is you'll come in here, and all the people who are on this webinar tonight, you guys, well, most, I would say 90% of you guys have this apprentice training already. All right, so people have been going through this training. For those of you guys who are new here, maybe you're spying in on the public, let me just give you a little sample of what's happening inside of here. All right, so I'm going to jump inside of the first thing called the $1 Million Day, which probably all of you who are on here have heard of this by now. It's kind of going a little crazy. But basically, people are getting rid of all the procrastination, undone stuff in their life. Mark did a 2 hour webinar, and it's just the recording of it. And I want to show you, I just want you to remember this is back end of a back office. This isn't, you can just access it. You have to actually pay to get inside. There's 153 comments back here. And as you can see down here, we got video after video after video after video after video after video after video. I mean, I can go on forever about people like just, oh my God, it's crazy. Mark, what is the response that you're seeing? I mean, I know you've just been mind boggled by it, but what do you feel, man, from your end of the perspective, like as far as these responses that we're getting? I mean, people are crying. I mean, they're finally seeing their future that they have for their life, things like that. What do you think the core of that is?
I think the core, and again, the backstory on the $1 million day is when I was starting out, I literally had nothing. I mean, I didn't have anything. I didn't have, gosh, it was just a joke to me. But I pretended that I had $1 million investor over my shoulder, and I pretended that there was like a secret ghost watching me in a way. And the question that I was going to ask was, would this guy, based on how I spend my days, say this guy is worth investing $1 million in? Like I'd put money on this guy. He gets so much done. He makes so few excuses. He has such a tolerance for BS. He has a tolerance. He has a strength. He goes after it. He makes it happen. He watches over his health. He watches over his accounts. He's worth $1 million. And so I started purging my life with, as everything that was undone, I'd make a big, big list of it, and then I'd ask myself, if this $1 million guy said, I'll give you $1 million at the end of this day if you get everything done, $1 million if you get everything done, could I get everything done? And it's obvious, it's true. Yes, I could get every single thing done, or at least initiated to as much as control as I had over it. I could get it done. And I started living that way almost every day. And today is another example. I woke up early, and I consciously thought of you guys today, because I thought what I'm doing today in terms of how much I'm achieving and accomplishing right now, it's like $1 million day for me, because it's become habit to get so much done so fast. So blah, blah, blah. What I think everybody's experiencing is that sense of like, wow, I have a lot of control over what I can control. Like I can wipe out my procrastination. I can free my life of all this mental baggage, of all this dirt and garbage. If in your house right now you have expired food in your pantry that you're never going to eat, you have old clothes that you look at and they drain your energy when you look at them, there's bad memories tied to them. If you dry off with a ratty old towel and you've been thinking about getting new towels for a year but you just haven't done it, all of those things weigh you down. All of those things are psychic baggage. And on the $1 million day, we scrape through the whole panorama of a life. And that's what the 2 hours are, is just pointing out those kind of things. And then everybody engages in it. And by the end of the day, I've had people say it was the best sleep I've had in my entire life. I feel so good. And what's funny is the day after, there was a guy that did this, and I was talking to him. He said, I didn't do anything the next day because I felt like I did more in that day. Like I had everything done. I didn't even know what to do anymore. That's what he said. But what happens is once you get to that point, now what do you have to do? You build to the future. You build everything into the future. You build programs into the future, products into the future, relationships into the future, dreams, vacations, everything. All your energy can go forward and present instead of mucked up in the past. So I think what people are having is this experience on a mass scale that I had at a private scale. And this is like science. This is just what people are they're just going to win. They're going to win because they're going to realize how much power they actually do have.
This is insane. I'm still scrolling. Yeah, this is like the most powerful thing I've ever seen. It's so awesome. All right, so if you're spying in on this webinar tonight, the person who brought you here, just get back with them later and you'll learn how to at least get access inside of our apprentice membership, because tonight is about taking the next level.
Vince, before we go there, if you've done $1 million day, you actually did it. You did it. Like you scraped through your whole to-do and you went crazy for a day. Raise your hand. I mean, if you did it. If you didn't do it, it's not a guilt thing. But if you actually did it, I'd just like to see the hands.
Angie
I mean, look at these
Bradley,
hands. We got
Carol, Chris.
Steven, Sandy, Ryan, Roland, Robin, Richard, Renee. So many people have done them, and they're just so liberating. But the point is not to do one like a spring cleaning. The point is to actually live in that space of do it now. And when you get to that space, all of a sudden, it's like in Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill talks about when wealth shows up, it shows up so fast and in such massive ways, you wonder where it was hiding all those years. And wealth is not hiding. It's just not being attracted because the vibration we're putting off is guilt over undone things, nervous energy over the future because we have so much baggage in the past. And there's so much that goes on into the law of attraction when you start hammering through these $1 million days. Vince, you better cut me off again.
Dude, I hate cutting you off. I just love listening. All right. So I see you guys. Oh my gosh, man. Like pretty much half the webinar, like raise their hand in a second. All right. So then let me just show you guys something real quick too as well. As far as, wisdom goes and everything like that. I mean, that's value, literally the value that comes out of your mouth. That scripture was awesome, Mark. I want to look that up later. But literally, I always talk about what comes out of your mouth is what's going to create that income. Literally. I mean, that's kind of what it's all about. So what I do is I kind of translate that into the attraction marketing piece for marketing online and really attract people to me because a lot of people are like, Vince, do you ever get on the phone? How do you get all these people to come around your business? I'm like, I never get on the phone. You know what I'm saying? I always just do stuff on the internet to where people are attracted to me. I never reach out to people at this point. At first you can reach out, of course, but once you start cruising, then people just start coming after you, literally. So right here in this 8-figure branding and ad copy, this is the first thing that you guys are going to learn about attraction marketing. Oh, I can't get access into it because I'm not in the right account. But I could show you here, there's a huge video right here when I'm in the admin account. But right down here, I mean, look, we got 83 comments already, and we got the same kind of action on a marketing video, which never happens. Okay, marketing videos are like one of those things where people watch it, maybe they go implement it. We got people doing videos about this. We have people having breakthroughs about this. People for the first time in their lives are understanding finally how to not be a spammy, just annoying marketer. I mean, I'm seriously about teaching you guys how to really attract. I mean, this is kind of crazy how many people comment. I love this. All right. So, at the end of the day,
And this is a huge, Vince, this is a huge point is, in the closing, like when I get on the phone now, like Ben and I were chatting the other day, Frazier and I, we hung out the other day. You end up talking to people who are like-minded, and you basically reach out as fraternity type brothers and sisters, and your whole environment changes, your whole friend and your whole social makeup changes. Everything starts showing up in a different way. But literally in a different company that I have, it's an offline thing, and a kid texted me, and he's 20 something, he's in college, and his dad's a millionaire, and he texted me this, and he said, "Hey Mark, Brett wanted me to reach out about the company." So I said, "Jacob, Brett wanted me to talk with you." That's what he said. Brett wanted me to talk with you, and I text him back. I say, "Do you want to talk to me?" Right? It's qualifying for desire. It's very subtle.
right.
And then when I got on the phone, I said, "Jacob, can I give you a little coaching secret?" And he said, yeah, for sure. I said, "Brett wants ice cream. I don't care what Brett wants. Did you want to talk to me?" You got to own your desire. And I qualified him for desire. I changed the whole set and this whole tone of the conversation. Raise your hand if you get how subtle that was. "Jacob, do you want to talk to me?" It's precision, and those little words are how I cut down and closed $5,000, $3,000, and $5,000 sales in 5 minutes on the phone by saying things like, asking a better question and getting to the heart of things much faster. So, little side note on attraction, right?
Word up. I want to show these guys. I'm going to give you guys like a real world example of what this is all about. I learned a lot from obviously you, Mark, about attraction marketing and things like that after I really started diving in. But here's the example that I kind of give you guys in this video. I was doing a webinar Brenda was doing a webinar for our company about GRN and ILN and all that good stuff, and I was like, "Here, make up the name for the company," and she goes, Okay, let me figure it out. And she goes, okay, let's try this. So, how to effectively build a monthly residual income and earn premium price commissions weekly. She says, how's that sound? I said, not that many people would have a clue about what those big words mean. And I said, Mark's leadership branding course even told you to dumb it down a little bit. So then I gave her an example of what you have to do. You have to get to people's hearts because nothing about this is exciting. It doesn't talk about people's really that their future, what it's going to do for their life. You look over here, what I give her as an example. I said, now hear this out. Mom of three wanted to stop missing her little girl's activities, so she figures out the internet game and makes thousands working for home. Okay, so you see the difference about the family. You got that family atmosphere, that family feel.
Raise your hand if you guys get the difference on that. Raise your hand if you get the difference.
I see you guys going
And
crazy.
the thing, the difference is both are true, and one is truer. One is truer. The truer one is Brenda, mother of three, was in total anxiety over missing her little girl's gymnastic practices. So she figured out the internet game, and now she makes thousands. That's actually more true than how to effectively build a monthly income.
Yeah, I see.
Raise your hand if you get that it's more true. It's just more. It's more. It's got more of the truth in it.
It's just, yeah, I mean,
We're
it's just,
hot tonight. I'm feeling it tonight, Vince. I'm feeling it.
I'm telling you, brother. I mean, we're on the same page. Same page. All right, y'all. All right, so I see you guys feeling it. I know, and like that's what happened. You know, what's neat about these is we do this, right? We teach you guys this stuff, and most of the time, this doesn't really set in and seal in, right? It's just what it does on the internet when there's just a whole bunch of videos and there's really nothing to do after. Well, this we do points. Mark is the freaking genius. Mark, what did you read? You told me you read something. I want that.
Vince, I've read so many books on gamification, it's painful. But one is called Reality is Broken and how gamification changes everything. And so gamification is breaking down big old chunk. Reality is broke, gang. And here's what reality is. It's this nebulous like I want more or here go to school and that's just boring like everything's boring so you put a very definitive goal and then you create a map that gives rewards clearly like hey you just hit a level like you hit the level in the quest for the game and internet marketing if you look at it like a game and when I say game I mean something that's fun something that's actually kind of interesting and cool and I even I gamify my life like I'm at home in North Dakota for about 60 days. I wrote a bunch of friends down, and I'm playing a game to see if I can go have a beer with every one of those people before I take off. And so it's a game for me, and I'm like, gosh, I did it. And I was tired, but I just brought sushi over to my friends. We had a 30-minute meal because she had to take off, but I was like, we got it in. Score, right?
That's money. I mean, yeah, it's just crazy. Like, for those of you guys who are out there, what I like to teach people is to look beyond what we're even doing as a company. So you see us doing these games and things like that. So then you think about what you do as your own leader. You know what I'm saying? That's what I like about our company, Mark, is that it raises people up to think beyond what, a customer level thinks, right? We're really raising you guys up to become leaders. And man, it's so funny because Mark never really gave me anything out of your leadership branding, which you did a few years ago, brother. And when I went
Hmm.
through that, I was like, oh God. I mean, it's just crazy how long I understand why you're so successful is because you've been doing this for so damn long about understanding how to really tap into people's minds. And it's just wild, because when did you do this course? Like 2.5 years ago or something?
Oh, it might have been 4 years,
It's
bro.
crazy. It's crazy how
Yeah.
it's like nothing about it is like irrelevant to what's happening now. It's so pertinent to what people need. So it's just crazy what you guys get inside of here. But anyways, so before we get to, I want to definitely get into the inner circle. I know you guys are like for those of you guys who are here who are
Hey,
spying on us. Go ahead,
yeah,
go
and
ahead.
raise your hand if you're getting value from this chit chat. This is basically chit chatting, but raise your hand if you're getting value. Angie's getting value. Bradley, okay, we've got Chantel. Okay, we're getting value dispensed, so that's the key. In fact, look at all these hands. It's awesome.
There's like I think I don't even know how many are up. It's awesome. All right, so yeah, that's another thing too. Think about what you're doing. I mean, tonight we are literally going to sell you something, right? And in your business, you sell stuff obviously to make money. But if you don't give a crap ton of value, people aren't going to realize what's inside of it. So you got to think value, 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 then sell something. And then people understand that it's not all about the money, right? It's really about going in and really tapping into people's mindsets so they can go tap into others. You know what I'm saying? So that's why we call this the Internet Lifestyle Network, because we really truly want you to understand how we get to live the lifestyle that we do, so you can go and do it yourself. So rock and roll, y'all. All right, we could go on forever, Mark, talking about what else is in here. I mean, should we dive into this, or should we just get crazy and go to the
I
inner
don't
circle?
even dare.
Yeah.
I'll just get so hyper on so much of this stuff.
All right, so let's talk about tonight. All right, so for those of you guys here who are spying in on us, I'm sure there's a few. The Apprentice Training, it's only $14.95 a month to jump inside. So just get back to whoever brought you to this webinar tonight. They'll hook you up, and you'll be able to rock and roll. You'll get to see those first two things. These things will blow your mind too. I mean, it's a barrage of madness. For $14.95 a month.
It's a barrage.
It is, I swear. It's just it's awesome to be able to. I mean, where can you give away that much value for so little of money? There's no way you can do it. The internet's the only way that you can give so much value away for the dollar. You know what I'm saying? It's just so cool. Freaking pumps me up every day. All right, so what I want to do, Mark, is I'm going to switch back over to your screen so you can jump inside the inner circle and kind of do your doodles and get your 8-figure scribbles on, is what I call.
8-figure scribbles.
8-figure scribbles.
Well, I like that.
All right.
I'm game.
Okay, so let's do that. Let me see.
Or do I just do I hand it, or do I just take it back?
I think you might be able to take it.
Let me try to take it.
Take that screen.
And, okay, let me see if this worked. Show my screen. So this is inside.
There you go.
Okay.
All right.
There we go. Raise your hand if you guys can see 21 amazing word-for-word recruiting strategies. Awesome.
Mark, if you can.
And real quick.
Mark, if you can you full screen yourself?
I can attempt. First, let me say hi to everybody.
Oh, yeah, I didn't turn my thing on. What was I thinking?
I don't know if we can on a webinar, but anyway, I wanted to say hi to everybody. So, hi. That's all.
I love the freaking H back there, man. Like,
Yeah, my mom got me that. My mom and dad got me this door, and it's just kind of a cool door. And they got it for me right when I started this business. And mom honestly said to me, someday you'll have an office to put that in. I was at the kitchen table. I'm not kidding. I didn't have an office. I had a kitchen table, and I had a $250 used computer. And she got this door. Actually, she got this at like an auction sale that already had an H in it.
Oh.
So they bought this door to sand it, so you can tell there's a little difference. But mom and dad built me this door, and she bought it and said, someday you'll have an office.
That's awesome.
And when I got started, I was on this $250 used computer, and I started envisioning everything I wanted, right? And I said, I allow myself to create an environment where I have the best office chair, the best computers. It's loaded with cool things. It's just interesting, full of artifacts. Like I've got, this sidebar, like this chair.
That thing is so sick. I love it.
It's called the Wiggle chair. I think this chair, don't quote me, I think this chair is like $1,500 or like $2,000. I got it because it inspires me to think different. And it's by a world famous architect who did the Disney, I think, or the Los Angeles Opera House. I believe it was the Los Angeles Opera House. Just crazy. I can't even pronounce his name. He's got museums all over the world, in Germany and stuff. But I had a vision and a dream to just work in a creative, interesting place. And this is just one of them. My Arizona place is kind of cool too. And
that's
awesome.
That's
my thing.
Yeah, I mean, I've always wanted to ask the backstory for some reason on that H. It's the bomb. I want to get my own on my door. My door's, I don't know if I could put it there. It's got some design on it, but all right, go ahead, brother.
Right.
Let's forget it. Let's get him going.
So anyway, now you can talk about the game after I check out, maybe to more like the game.
We'll talk a little bit more about that.
21. You want me to connect a little bit on the 21 word for word closing and just some super secrets on that kind of thing, or
let's do this.
What's your heart?
Do this for me real quick. Just see if you can hit your green button and make your screen big on the top left of your Firefox.
Oh boy, top left of my Firefox. This thing?
No, the green button right below that. I cannot. It's so funny. You don't know how to use it.
I don't even know what that is.
There it is.
Oh, this thing.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Boom, baby. All right.
I didn't even know you could do that. All right, that was cool.
Yeah. All right, so go. Do me a favor. You see where it says courses right there, right above the 21? Yeah, click on that for me.
Yeah. Got it. Yeah. And here's very encouraging words. My friends cannot believe I'm an internet marketer because you know,
It's great.
I computers have never really been my thing.
I love it.
And I'm telling you guys, the vision, Vince, I gotta just go hog and heart for a minute
Come
here on
on,
this.
bring it.
This is worth the picture again. All right. Raise your hand if you want me to just kind of go hog real quick, just what's on my heart, because
All
if you don't, that's what I want to share. So if you want to hear it,
I see
raise your hand.
y'all.
Okay, so I got
I
enough.
love it.
Here's the thing. So many people get bogged in the technicalities, posting the Facebook, not knowing how to hit record or like be like me, even log in sometimes. But for me, at the very start of this, what the internet lifestyle does for me, what it means for me, and I recommend everyone read the 4 Hour Work Week. It's an important book. You should be reading this book. I had a vision that the internet lifestyle meant that I get to create a type of life that I want. Not that I got good at, direct response marketing, not that I became a good speaker. That wasn't my heart. My heart wasn't that I, would be able to type a really powerful email that would cause people to buy things. My heart was that I would be able to create a lifestyle that I wanted to happen. I wanted to feel things and I wanted to experience things, and everything, my business was going to serve all those desires. Okay, raise your hand if that makes a little bit of sense, and then I'm going to give you a case study, like what just happened in the last hour, right before this webinar. Because for me, this is what the internet lifestyle meant for me. It might mean something different for you. For Debbie Turner, it means that she's able to live it in Kentucky by her mom and dad who are aging, and Debbie can scrapbook. She can volunteer for what's it when you adopt kids? Like she had adopted, and she's like a guru of teaching how to like take in adoption kids and raise them, well and successful because she's done that. So the internet lifestyle for her meant to be able to make money like they make on the coasts, but to make it in a little town in Kentucky and be in her little town by her family and to travel. And I mean, that's what it meant for her. So what I'm about to share doesn't mean you have to experience this by any means. Don't even let me indicate that. But for me, what happened an hour ago is the internet lifestyle to me meant that I would be able to have a home in the sun during the winter because I do not like winter. I don't like being cold. My fingers get cold. I get depressed. I get like seasonal affective disorder. Some people would say, well, no, you shouldn't have seasonal affective disorder. Well, guess what? I do. I don't care. I just bought a house in Phoenix. Cured. Now I'm cured. It's just like that. But anyway, so I want a house in the summer, but I love my family. I love my roots. I love this office. I love my little town. So, and I love summer here. I love my golf course. And I had this dream that I would be able to go back and forth. And in the summer, I'd be able to work wherever I wanted to, which would be out at this golf course. And Vince, you're going to see it next week because you're here.
Man,
and we're going to have a great time.
I'm pumped.
But I sit looking at this golf course, beautiful 100-year-old oak trees all over the place, big vista. It's out in the country. And this is an hour ago. And I'm sitting there and I'm smoking an $8 cigar. Now, that's not a big deal to you guys, but I didn't have $8 to put in my gas tank a few years ago. So it's a big deal to have an $8 cigar to me. Still to this day. It's a big deal to have my gas tank on full. It's a big deal for me to be able to pick up sushi and eat wherever I want. So I'm sitting out there at this golf course. And I'm doing work, and I've been working really, really hard. And I go to get a drink of water from the waitress at the golf course, and there's like 6 guys who are having a really good time. And you can tell they're really happy. And they're like, hey, and I didn't know these guys. I said, boys, it looks like you're having a good time. What's up? Oh, it's this kid's 21st birthday today. I said, today? He's like, today. This is just, we're celebrating. And I'm like, I tell the waitress, I'm like, Susie, get these guys around. And you boys have fun. So I buy them around. I put it on the deal, no big deal. I walk back. I'm smoking my cigar. I come back into the room to walk away. And I'm like, boys, you got going to be safe on the roads. You got a couple DDs, and they had a little 15-year-old brother that was the DD, and he's like, I'm here. And I'm like, boys, you have a good night. Peace. And I walk out the door, and I'm smoking the cigar. And as the door is shutting, I hear this guy say to this other guy, what an effing badass. Okay, now here's what it means. Now that may be a cool story, it may not be, but for me, it's everything I ever wanted. I'm working where I want to work on a golf course, doing stuff that I enjoy, and I really liked getting those guys a shot. Like it was fun for me. And I didn't feel like I was spending anything because money didn't matter. That didn't matter to do that. It was a way for me to bless them a little bit, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was just a feeling of being able to be kind because I wanted to. And the internet lifestyle for me means when my heart wants to do something, I'm able to do it. I'm able to fund it, and I have the time to fund it. So raise your hand if you get what I'm saying. Like that for me was the environment. That's what I wanted. I want to do that. I want to be that guy. Okay? So for you, more than learning Facebook ads, more than blog posts, more than anything, get really dialed in on what you want that day and that real life experience to look like. I want to walk into a house that is spotless. I really do. I like a spotless house. I want to walk in and have a supper that's good, and I want to have obedient, good, fun, lively children without the ton of like weird drama and yelling and silence and awkward. And I wanted that for my life. And what I realized was that with the internet marketing, with extra money, I could hire housekeepers to keep the house clean so that Shannon could spend time with the kids going horseback riding, going canoeing, that we could go out and eat all the time. We could both have massages so we feel good physically, and that we can bond with our kids because we have time to do it. That's the only thing that drove me. I'm telling you guys, getting good conversions on your stupid Facebook posts are not why you're doing this. Okay, it's not why you're doing this. You're doing this for the deeper thing, and I want you guys to dial in tonight on getting really clear on what those deeper things are, what you want to feel, what you want to have. If you're a mom and you want to go on every single field trip possible that your kids have at school, you do it, and you let it drive you. And if you don't go on those field trips and it kind of irks you, go ahead and feel bad. Go ahead and let that pain, which is just your heart speaking, let that frickin' thing speak. And I'd say, you know what, I really, really wanted to go on that field trip, but I have to go to a job that I don't even like, and I'm kind of mad about it. Go ahead and let that boil up. Let that speak to you. Let that instruct you. Let that inner voice, that inner craving speak to you. Let it lead you. That thing that says, you know, I should do this. I should get my garage clean. I should probably make that phone call. I should heal up that relationship. That is your $1 million inner self. $1 million. And you shut it off and you turn it off. You don't even let it speak. You're busy making a Facebook post. My point on this, and holy crap, it's getting me off the webinar because I'm going crazy. My point is, when you let that thing speak, you'll figure out Facebook. You'll figure out videos. You'll be more confident. You'll get that stuff done. You'll get those monkeys off your back. You'll let that insecurity that's holding you down because your stepdad thinks you're in some scam. You'll let that voice sound like a chippy little nothing. Nothing. It means nothing to you. And you don't love him any less. You in fact, you're better to your stepdad now because his voice has gone down to where it should be, which is very little. And now you can actually love him instead of hearing this big voice and fighting back and picking back. And we have all these relationships and these family things, and sometimes it's our spouse and all these different things. But you learn to let your heart speak nice and loud, and every other thing starts putting down into proportion. You're actually better for the whole world. Raise your hand if you got some value out of that.
Amen.
Oh
brother.
my gosh, you guys! I'm just telling you.
It is so.
Who cares about closing even at this point?
It is. It's totally. It's just totally about the vision that you guys have for your life. I mean, that's all that matters. You know, that's what Mark and I's conversations a lot of the time. It doesn't even have to do with the money. It just has to do with the freedom of like never thinking about money again. That's really what we're after. You know what I'm saying? It's like teaching people how to get that complete freedom in their life. So, Rocket.
Yeah, the comments are kind of coming in deep. But you got to have the right attitude, and that's the attitude. And I think everything we do harkens back to that's your attitude. Let that inner millionaire speak. Let your heart that could speak when it was 5 or 6 that we've just like stamped down. Let that thing alive. You can create products. I remember the first time I said, you know what I really want to do? I was talking with a friend. I said, you know what I really want to do? I want to be able to study the Bible. This was just me. It doesn't have to be. I want to be able to study the Bible, and I want to be able to teach it. I don't want to be a pastor, though. I don't want to do that. I feel like I can have a career teaching what I love without having to be a pastor. I don't like weekends. I don't like working weekends. I want to spend weekends at the lake. I don't want to do that job. And he said, well, that's the only way to do it. And now Solomon has sold, it's coming at about $750,000. It's growing virally all over the world, changing lives everywhere. And it's doing exactly what my heart wanted it to do. And you know why? Because I put that friend's voice, that big chomping dinosaur of a killer of my dreams, I just put it in its place, which was irrelevant. You do the same thing, and you can create products that can change people's lives. You can sell products that can change people's lives. But more importantly, get your own life in order. That's what the $1 Million Day does. Get it in order. Get the attitude proper. And at that point, all the skills start showing up. So I'm going to talk about closing a little bit, Vince, and that's skills. That's pure tactics. So when that kid texts me, Brett wants me to talk to you, the skill of that is, do you want to talk to me? Because I don't care what Brett wants. It has nothing to do with our conversation.
Yeah, totally.
He says yes very much. Hopped on the phone, had a great conversation, and he's in the company. Raise your hand if you get what I'm saying. Attitude first, mindset first. Without it, everything is drudgery. Everything is drudgery. People say they're around internet marketing, and it's a drudgery for them. I'll tell you, the people it's not a drudgery for are the people that are dialed in on what they want and the attitudes. And then, sure enough, they stick around long enough to figure out how to do all the little technical skill things that bring in all the dollars, because they finally become valuable enough to attract money.
Yeah, you're on it, bro. Oh my God. I tell people what's inside the apprentice is nothing compared to what's about to come. So Mark, it's just crazy.
Oh yeah, we're just getting warmed up.
Oh man, it's crazy. All right, let's get in there, brother. Let's teach him. I don't even know why you need to say anything else anymore.
I haven't bothered. But I'll tell you a closing strategy. You guys ready? Raise your hand if you're ready. I mean, there's so many in the 21 word for word. They're literally word for word. Let's just pull one up and I'll just give one example, and then Vince, give some details of this stuff. But just, can I coach you on that, or can I give you some insight? That's just one of the most basic ones out there.
But to me, that was the most powerful one, though. Like, I don't think people know that, Mark. Like, it might seem basic to you, but dude, that is like the thing that changed everything for me. Like, that always causes, think about your guys' conversation. I'm going to bring the hands down. For those of you guys who are out there, does it always feel like when you're trying to sell something, or you're trying to, show people maybe even, something that you believe in, does it feel like you're constantly having a battle? Raise your hand if it feels like you're having like a battle with them. All right, so I see all you guys going crazy.
Sparring. You're verbally sparring. You're jousting. Yeah. And this goes into, if you're jousting, ugh.
So what this does right here, if you don't even do anything for the rest of your life with our information, if you take this and you really utilize that, you are not going to have battles anymore. It is the most powerful thing I've ever done, Mark. Seriously, when it comes down to closing, I don't have battles anymore. As soon as I get that yes, you can almost say anything you want without ever having any kind of reflection. It's insane.
Yeah. And you have to mean it. Everything you do when it comes from a place of your own personal integrity. I was eating with a buddy. It was two buddies. And my one buddy kept answering the phone and texting his girlfriend, because he's like, oh, she's just being drama. I got to deal with this. Hang on. And then he walked away, and he had a phone call, and he came back. And that's just not how we run the brotherhood, right? So, and he kind of knows the deal. And so I tell him, I say, different name, Josh. We'll call him Josh. I said, Josh, you interested in a little insight on your relationship that I got for you right now? And he's like, literally, I said, like, can I coach you a little bit on it? And he goes, not right now, Mark. I said, all right. And I didn't.
Yeah.
No resistance.
Yeah.
Now, there'll be a different time when we're having a beer in a week or two where he's like, all right, let's go. What's going on? What do you think? What should I do? What do we got? What do you think about this? Is what's happening. But raise your hand if you get the difference. Like, if I was like, well, you this drama and it's affecting our meal, blah, 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 I could have made a big deal out of it. It would have been a sparring thing, and he wouldn't have got any value, and I wouldn't have got any value, and the friendship just would have suffered in some kind of annoying way. But instead, he's like, no, don't coach me right now. It's just not right now.
And
I'm
you,
like,
Mark, you always say that you go, and I've seen you actually do it. You go all the way down to your kids. I mean, you don't tell your kids what to do. I mean, you do in a sense, but you always, make sure that they're open to it right before you say it, right? Something like that.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's qualifying, I guess the sales language would say this is qualifying people for desire. So when that kid texts me, Brett wants me to talk to you, my response was, do you want to talk to me? And what it did was it qualified him for desire because he was coming to the conversation almost like, well, I wonder what Mark's going to say now. Almost. He wasn't owning that he wanted it. Raise your hand if you get that. He wasn't owning he wanted that conversation. He was passing the buck off on Brett. He wasn't owning it. So we were able to go deep into this kid's heart in 5 minutes because I started the conversation with desire. Do you want it? Because if people don't want stuff, I don't want to, it's not a fit. It doesn't matter. Internet Lifestyle Network isn't for everybody. I don't care. I don't care. If someone wants it, if someone wants to do internet marketing, well, where else for $14.95 are you going to get the mindset and the training and the strategy? Like, it's impossible. It's the best value online. Or it's right up there. It's right up there with the best value I've ever seen. And if they want it, then they should do it. But I will never, and I don't want anybody ever, not one of you, ever to force a sale into this network. It's the dumbest thing. It doesn't even work. Don't even do it. Ask a question. Hey, if they're giving you some slack about it or whatever, you know what? And at $14.95, I can show you my inbox, because our inboxes are rolling with, hey, should I join ILN? I'm like, it's $14.95. Give it a whirl, bro. I don't care.
Yeah, exactly.
Try it.
Mm-hmm.
It's $14.95. You're not mortgaging your house. So, on the closing, you've got to qualify for desire. And if you don't, you immediately turn into a scowling little hungry, money-hungry goon that's just trying to claw all over and feel up your prospect and reach into their wallet. And you do that stuff and you hate your life and you feel sales is gamey. In fact, just the other night, I was at a social function and this kid, he's like 25, he's selling corn in North Dakota. He's like, Mark, I got a question for you because I know you know business. I said, I don't even know what a corn seed looks like, but go ahead, hit me. And he's like, how do I sell corn? And I gave him this idea, and this kid's mind was blown. His eyes were bulging out of his head, like he was crazy. Basically what I said is, do you know these farmers around here? He said, yeah. I said, I would find out everything they like. I said, do they like to hunt deer, which all of them do? I'd say this. I'd say, here's the deal, John. I said, is your corn seed better? I asked this kid, is your corn seed better than the other guys? They're like, no. He's like, really, all the corn is pretty much the same. I'm like, does the other sales guy make about as much as you do? Yeah, we make 30% of every unit we sell. I said, okay, what's a good contract worth to you? He's like, I can make like 12 grand on one good farmer. I said, well, what I'd do is I'd go to that farmer and I'd say, Farmer Joe, I know you've probably been buying corn from Steve for a few years, and that's totally cool. I'm new to the game. I really want to deserve your business really bad. And I just tell him that you really want it. And then I'd say, I know you love hunting deer, and as a goodwill token, like if you buy, I make about 12 grand. I'm willing to get you a brand new Remington gun. If you want a new gun, we can go hunting. I know some great spots. I got my dad's land that we can go and get that buck, and I'll buy you a brand new Remington, about $1,200. And then I'd say, he likes to go to Florida. Say, if you do that first year corn with me, I'll send you and your wife to Florida and pay for the condo for a week. I said, you're out $4 grand, but what you have is $8 grand instead of not 12. Mm-hmm. But you didn't have 12, and you don't have the business unless you learn to get the business. So I'm telling them this, and this kid is just like mind blown, right? He's mind blown. And this guy, total poverty, broker than broke. He's a buddy of mine, but just a typical broker than broke, dirty clothes, everything. Just dirty, broke, poverty mentality. He actually came up and he's like, hey, now listen here, Clarky. Mark's a shyster and he knows how to get whatever he wants, so you better be careful listening to advice from him. Right? And then he walks away, and I give him a high five, and I was like, because this guy's my buddy, and he was just talking smack, but he actually believes that.
Oh, yeah.
That anything to do with selling is scammy. And what I just said, so he walked away, and I said, to farmer boy, seller, corn, I said, here's the deal. That corn guy When you walk into a bar and he's there with his buddies, I said you pick up a round every time you see him. Never once. There's not a time if you're in his presence that you don't pick up his meal at Red Lobster, you don't pick up his tab. You treat him like gold because it's not a one-time hit, it's a lifetime value and it's a relationship, and you will be like spokesman at his funeral type quality. It's about getting into this guy's life. The guy that's been selling corn for 15 years, he takes this guy for granted. He doesn't care about him. He's an expectation sale at this point. And he's like, no, you're right. These guys don't do anything like that. I'm like, because they're lazy. And the lazy man suffers. Do not be that guy. This kid was blown away. But my whole point in this, raise your hand if you guys are feeling me out a little bit. You're just feeling me. I'm telling you, you guys can run the ship and you can own anything you want. You can become a leader so easy because the world is so damn lazy. It is so apathetic. It is so appallingly horrible. It is not, don't get frustrated with this. Just get clear eyes on the situation. The lazy man says there's no game to roast. There's no credit available. The homes are too expensive. You can barely get by. Kids, you got braces. Oh my gosh, it's a dog-eat-dog world. Everything's screwed. The diligent man looks at the land and says, there's so much precious wealth in this land, I can barely sleep. There's so much wealth in relationships and experiences. The whole world is our oyster. And if you're hustling and you get diligent, some of you could double your income just by working twice as hard. That's all you'd have to do is just work twice as hard. So the $1 million day, what it starts doing is activating you to realize. I've sat in restaurants with friends who know about the $1 million day, and they say, this place needs $1 million day. Windows are dirty. There's a cobweb in the corner. This place needs $1 million day. You start realizing how much stuff is undone, how much precious wealth is out there to be captured, and precious wealth just means bringing value to people. And then you get paid for it. Raise your hand if you're feeling me, gang. You gotta dial into this stuff. You got to dial into it. So this is closing. I mean, who cares? I could go on. I could tell you
I tell you what, it's obvious that it's going to be ridiculous for those of you guys that are out there. Let's do this, Mark, real quick. Open up another video real quick for somebody, or another action guide. Just give them one more, and then we will.
Let me tell you, one other thing with selling. What's funny is I had a guy that went through this 21 word for word. And he works as a salesman at a computer store, and the day after he watched the video, he made 4 times as many computer sales as everyone else. 4 times the next day. And he sent me a text, he Facebooked me, he told his friends to reach out. He's like, you've got to tell Mark I made 4 times the computer sales in one day than anyone else there, and 4 times more than I ever make on a day. And all he did was in a nutshell, I'm like, I'll get on the phone, I want to hear what happened. He said, all I realized was that people were walking in the store, they probably wanted a computer. I never realized that. I was really thinking they were just kind of like in the store. I didn't realize that they had this desire for a computer, but they just were gun shy about helping them I helped them make a decision they wanted to make. They wanted a computer. That's why they walked into the store. He said, it just changed my whole mind. And he made 4 times the money.
Super powerful. Well, for those of you guys who don't remember, and whoever sent you here, I mean, literally, Mark, I was working on those GRN sales for what, a week and a half or 2 weeks, just kind of grinding it out.
Oh, my gosh, that was just.
What did you?
I wouldn't even talk to you. I didn't even talk to you during that time. I was just like, what? These guys are.
What did you
such
say?
a clown
you said
show.
it was
This is
a monkey
hilarious.
show or something. I forget what you said.
Yeah, I had a choice term. We won't go public on it.
Yeah, so I took those 20. For some reason, I'm echoing really bad. I don't know why.
I'll mute myself, maybe.
Yeah. So I'm on my screen. I'll just show it for the recording. But when we were in these word-for-word recruiting, what Mark did, he was like, dude, what is going on? You know what I'm saying? Like, why do you have all these people that are ready to rock and roll? So he passes me the 21 word-for-word closing secrets. And I watched them 2 days, right? And so I watched it one day, and then the next day, literally, I tell people, I'm not even kidding, I fall asleep to this stuff. And so, literally after 2 days, the next day I closed 2 platinum sales, make $6,500, And I don't remember if I called you Mark or not, but like I was running around my room like an idiot. Like my heart was pounding. I couldn't believe it. And I was just like, all I had to do was watch a stupid video a couple times and I knew how to talk to people finally. I was like, this is ridiculous. It was like, and I totally understand now. It's like when you understand like how to close people without salesy things, like it's just, this is not salesy, which is so cool about this 21. It's like you just tap into people's like vision and their mindset, and you don't even, it's not hard. Like a lot of people think selling's hard, right? But once you really dive in here and once you really understand, I mean, what's cool about it is literally word for word. I mean, I said this stuff word for word. There's nothing you have to do special. You don't have to, be a magic person. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just cool. Like, one of the things, Mark, let's show them real quick. I mean, this is just stupid powerful. When you literally, I want you to give them permission. A lot of people don't have permission for this, and all it takes is to read the PDF. You need permission to go there. And you know what I'm talking about, Mark? Literally asking people. A lot of people say they don't have the money, but they do. What do you do in that situation? And I want you to show and just kind of give it from your perspective really quick, because I can't say it is powerful. I just know how to do it now. But I want you to like go to that one. It talks about literally asking them where it's going to come from. You can literally go there to tap inside. Do you have a credit card that you can open up? Do you have something you could sell? And you can get people to that level. A lot of people are like scared to get there, but you can literally get people to that level because everybody can figure out how to get money. That's just all there is to it. And so what this does is it gave me permission to go there. I mean, literally, I'm not scared to ask anybody, can you open up a new credit card? What do you have on that credit card account? Things like that. And a lot of people don't even know you can say that. But the first main thing is reverting back to that number one strategy of saying, can I give you some insight on that? Right? Or can I coach you on that? It just depends on the coaching versus insight. If you're like not, in a leadership status, I really would go with the insight part of it versus coaching, because you don't really want to put yourself in the coach level if you're not to that level yet. So what I always said in the beginning was insight, or what I learned from Mark. I leveraged his name like crazy. I was like, well, Mark said, or, I talked about what you did, things like that. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of your leverage out there is us, right? And this company, just the platform of it, you just leverage everything. I forget which one it is you actually say it on there, Mark, about going deep into, what they can have. I think you might be still muted if you're talking. I don't know for sure. Are you still there, brother?
Yeah, I think it's part of the training in. I think it's my comments on this PDF. I don't recall if I had it in here verbatim about the money.
Maybe it was.
But my mentor, I probably do. There's 21 of these things.
Go ahead. Yeah, you go ahead and talk on it. I'll look for it and see if I can find what number it is.
Yeah. So, I mean, when it comes to Vince, ask the question really tight for me so I'm not meandering. What is the exact question? I was just vibing with you.
Permission to literally go there, to the place where most people will not ask. Like telling the money excuse, essentially.
Okay, so this is simple. They'll say, yeah, I really like this and I want to do this, but don't have any money, but got to talk to my spouse, but I've been in 10 of these, but something. Yes, I really want to, but. So what you do, you basically learn to call people on their bullshit. That's pretty much all you do. To get really good, you've got to learn to help people get out. They're not intentionally lying. They've never been taught to speak with precision and truth. They just haven't been taught it. We haven't been taught to speak true. So what I'll say is, can we go deep with this? Sure. Can we go deep with it? You said you do want to do this. Can we go deep there? Yes, we can. All right, so if you want it, and we can spend a few minutes and we can figure out how to actually get you what you want, can we go there? Yes. And I get about 4 or 5 yeses. Yes, we can go there. I'm like, all right, cool. How much space do you have on your credit cards right now?
See, I want people to raise their hand if you didn't even know you could say that. Did you know you could go there? Raise your hand if you didn't.
You can't if you don't do those. Can I coach you? Do you really want it? Can we go deep? You can't. If you do, you're freaking. If some random person, if I'm looking at something I don't want, and somebody says, "Hey, how much credit card space do you have?" I would say, "Get away from me, you creep." Just get away. Shoo, shoo. But I qualified for desire in such a way, and I only do this if they mean it, right? And if they don't mean it, you got to learn to get kind of ninjutsu at some levels, but also the scripting helps you. Like, can we go there? And then they say sure, and then you say, so how much space do you have on your credit cards? And I've done that, and somebody said, well, I actually have a Discover card with 12,000 that I've never activated. It's in my drawer. And then they bought the top package. No, I'm not kidding.
Wow.
And then I say, what do you have, a 401k you can cash out? A 401k? I've been building that for 30 years. They're not going to say that if you actually had a true rapport conversation where they actually mean they want to get in it. And then I say, it's cool. Like, if we're going there and you have 15,000 in a 401k that's gaining 7% a year, and if getting rid of that, if you don't see a value in the product or the opportunity to get rid of that, to invest that in, to kind of like buy the products and like go whole hog in, and this is going to stress you out, you're not going to sleep tonight, don't do this. It's fine. Like, it doesn't matter. But if you see, and then I'd say something like, when I asked you about like what you really wanted, if all works out, this is a great question. If it all works out, what do you want your life to look like? If it all works out, it's a good, powerful line. It's a line. If it all works out, what do you want your life to look like? And then, now some would say, well, that's a line. It's a line. Yes, it's a line. And it's a line that actually goes to somebody's heart, which no one in society barely ever goes. Parents don't go there. Bosses don't go there. Friends don't go there. Everything's so surface. You're different. And you say, if it all works out, what do you want your life to look like? I'd like to vacation in Hawaii every year. I'd like to golf for a week in Florida too. And I want to sleep in. I haven't felt like I've slept in 15 years. I want to sleep. I want to sleep. I want to sleep in a good bed. I don't like my neighborhood. I'd like it better. So this is what if it all works out, right? And then I say, well, here's the deal. Like, so if I'm selling a coaching program or if I'm selling information, I'm like, well, if you really want that, is your current situation, does it even give you a chance to get any of that? Is there even a chance for anything you just said a few minutes ago? Is there a chance, given the current situation, is there even a chance that any of that can happen? Any of it? And they say, no, because you can't have a job and go to Hawaii a couple weeks and then go to Florida and then sleep in. And you can't do that with a job. You can't even do that with a typical entrepreneurial business unless you have some great staff. So my point is, you get to a place in the heart where all of a sudden it's like, if you really want to go after this, this is where we go after it. And the point is, a few bucks, people will crawl over broken glass for their dreams if they get a chance to even rekindle them. Raise your hand if that makes sense. People will do anything for their dreams if they believe there's actually a chance they can happen. And with internet marketing, I really believed for the first time in my entire life, it was like when I saw the internet and I just thought about it, I thought I could have a video that plays all day long that sells something and people could buy it all day. And I guess I wouldn't have to be there. I guess I could be on the golf course. I get the possibility that my dreams could happen, that it could really happen. Like, my dreams were to wake up after I was done sleeping in a Tempur-Pedic bed in the sunshine in January, have coffee with my wife, go mountain biking, and make 5 to 10 to 15,000 that day. And with the internet, I saw, you know what? It's actually possible. And as second I believed it was possible, I went all in. I was $40,000 in credit card debt. I was willing to live in a FEMA trailer in the middle of the country that's worth about $2,000, the whole home. It's like a cardboard box. And I was willing to live there with my family until I figured out the strategies, because I knew I had the desire.
Mm-hmm. That's super powerful.
And I figured it out, gang. And you can too.
You just said it.
Desire will activate things in you and resources. And some will say, no, I just don't have the money. And I'll say, well, can I coach you on that? And they'll say, yeah. I'll say, step number one of an entrepreneur is resourcefulness. They're miracle makers. They solve problems that people can't solve, and that's why they make money. People can't solve problems. They come in and solve them. Steve Jobs was solving problems for us we didn't know we had. We didn't know it was a problem that we couldn't access our friends at any time in real time, and we didn't know we wanted FaceTime. He gave us things we didn't even know were problems, and he solved them. He was so upset that a computer took 27 seconds to load that he said, if I could create a computer that could load in 13 seconds, he calculated the metrics on the amount of productivity he would cause for the world, and it inspired the speed of the processors in the Macs that we have right now. And the reason I bought a Mac, and I'm not shitting you at any level, was because the first time I saw one, my buddy pressed the button, and 13 seconds later, he was online. And I said, I want that.
That's powerful.
Get me out of here, Vince. This is
Hey,
ridiculous.
switch me screens.
Okay. I mean, you raise your head if you're getting some value out of this party.
I want to show you something pretty cool. That it's on
All
my
right.
screen.
I'm feeling it. Man, this is great. This is recorded, right? This is good.
Oh yeah.
This is good
This is
stuff.
good. Dude, you know what was cool? You said something that's going to literally happen. Is this video right here is going
Yeah.
to somebody's going to buy from this video when we're out on the golf course, like what you just said.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like you guys can have this lifestyle. Like it's just insane. All right, so let me go to show my screen. Let me know when you can see my screen. Raise your hand if you
There you
could.
go.
Raise your hand if you could be golfing. If it would be exciting if you were making money while you were golfing.
Oh, look at that pen. That's awesome.
Yeah, look at this. So I went to All About Steve Jobs, and our prize, second prize, is the pin right here. That works out nicely. As you can see,
Yeah. And just so you know, what I've learned from Steve, like and with ultra reading, that we don't even have that in the community yet. We'll be getting it in there in the inner circle at some point. But I've read so many books, and when I saw like the vision, how he would quantify the cultural value of good ideas, that's what the $1 Million Day was for me. I was like, you know what? If I got 1,000 people doing $1 Million Days at a time, we can literally change the global domestic product. If we spread this, the productivity will surge in such a way that it'll quantifiably change economies. It really will. And like what we're doing with the kid thing, what's coming up for the kids that are 5 to 15,
man, I'm freaking pumped.
Vince and I talked about it. We will quantifiably be changing youth, and it'll start with like 200 kids. It'll go to 500, then 1,000, then 10,000 in a few years, and you will see that we are training entrepreneurs by the time they're 10. And they're going to be more dialed in than guys that own restaurants, than people that own laundromats, everything, because they're learning through this idea that we're going to release in the next week or so. That's I'll save that for later.
Super pumped about that. All right, so I just want to show you guys. We're about to open this cart, but what I'm going to show you, here's the 21 word. This is the actually inside of the inner circle. Okay, so if I back up right here under the inner circle training, when you click on this, actually for you guys, it's going to say join the inner circle, but all you guys are going to have to log out after we launch this and then log back in. But boom, you're going to click on this. You'll see all these different courses in here. Okay, so all we've talked about is the 21 amazing word for word. This is kind of insane. And we didn't even, what did we get through, like a tenth of it? So that's what you're going to get access to. You get the 21 word. You're going to get Solomon CEO expectation. I'm not even going to go over it. You're just going to be mind blown. 7 rituals for quantum wealth, which is insane. All this stuff is just mind blowing. And then mind benders and wealth. You said something like 20,000 hours of this has been watched already, something crazy like that. And then dreamscaping. Mark, a lot of people, just talk a second about this Mindbenders and Wealth, because I haven't really heard you talk, just a quick, like 2 minutes about what you actually said here, from your perspective now. You know what I'm saying? Like, what would you tell somebody in like 2 minutes about what this is, what they're going to learn?
About mind benders.
Yeah.
I mean, mind benders. I've had people at conferences say like they've watched it with their family, and they've cried as a family together. It's just a deep thing. It was No Excuses one. There was about 1,100 people there. I planned absolutely nothing. I did not plan one word. I just literally walked on stage and poured my heart out there. And the gist of it was, I asked a question. And I started off with the whole premise of it is, whose life is going to be infinitely better because you succeed? Infinitely better. Like the things that you create, the businesses you start, the people you employ, the I have friends that I was out to eat with a friend, and I just noticed his tooth. Yeah, he kept touching his tooth. I said, "What's your deal? Like, what's going on here?" He's like, "Well, we don't have to talk about it. Whatever." I'm like, "No, seriously, what's the deal with your tooth?" He's like, "Well, I've got a bunch of cavities in my teeth, and I don't know." I'm like, "Why don't you get it fixed?" He's like, "We just don't have money to. I can't afford it." And I said, "Okay, well, what's the deal? How much is it going to cost?" He goes, "I don't know. We can't afford it at all." And I said, "Okay." And I used direct response, Vince. You ready for this? Everybody raise your hand if you're ready for how direct response changes everybody's life, not just your pocketbook. But I said, here's the deal. I want you to find out what's really going on with your teeth. And I'm going to give you 7 days from right now to find a dentist near you. And you go in for a diagnostic and a cleaning and an x-rays, and you get the full what the bill will be. Just so what it will be and how severe the things are going on in your mouth. And I said, I'll pay for that first thing, and then we'll talk from there. He paid for the first, he went, so I paid for it. And he called me, and I called the dentist place, and I gave him my credit card over the phone. I said, "This is just my buddy, and he's coming in for checkups, so just bill me." It was a couple $100, and his mouth was like 6 grand. But that tooth was $1 grand. I think he needed like whatever, right? And the dentist worked out a monthly payment plan with the kid, and this was a grown adult actually, and he got that first tooth fixed, and right now his mouth is done. His whole mouth is done. He had all sorts of work, but the dentist worked with him to get his mouth done. But my point was, I said you have 7 days, and he knows I meant it. If he came to me on day 8 and said, "Oh yeah, I got to get to my teeth," that's too bad, bro. 7 days. Okay, and he did it. And here's my point, though. That I can only do that because I make a bunch of money.
Mm-hmm.
Raise your hand if you get it. I can't do that. You can't do the things you want to do without money. It's a beautiful thing to just accept. You're not able to do the things you want to do. And what you want to do, I believe, are a lot of really good things. And when you have some money, you can do amazing things. Amazing things. So what I teach in this Mindbenders, and it's been watched like 30, 40, 50,000 hours online. It's been watched like ridiculous amounts. I ask whose life is going to be infinitely better because you succeed. Like my buddy, his life is infinitely better because I actually learned how to help people get what they want. He wanted a better mouth and he didn't know how to get to it. I gave him a chance to get to it by doing a couple $100 deal, paying for a stupid dental thing. Not a big deal, guys. I've had friends who have terrible backs. I said, "What's up with your posture? Looks like shit. What are you doing? Go to the chiropractor. We don't have insurance." I said, "You don't have insurance? A chiropractic visit's like $120 max." I'm like, "I'll pay for the first one, but you have 7 days to get your butt in there and get your back fixed. This is ridiculous." I can't do that without money. Vince, you better be cutting me off because I am hot
It's
tonight.
oh man, there's no way I'm cutting it off when you're on fire. All right, so what I want to do, let's go ahead and do this for those of you guys who obviously know you're ready to rock and roll. This is what you're gonna have to do to upgrade. Now, let me Vox Clifton to open it up really quick.
Who's ready to go deeper in Inner Circle right now? It's $95. Just you're ready because we're gonna go way deeper. It's just you guys deserve way more, and we deserve to go deeper. We got Angie, Ashley, Brenda, Chris, pumped, Corey, pumped, Dennis,
Clifton, go
pumped,
ahead and
Heather,
the card,
pumped,
brother.
Jason, pumped, JC, pumped, Jeremy, John, Karen, Kendall. It goes on and on. I mean, I'd love if Vincent, how do they get to Inner Circle? I don't even know what's
Yeah,
the call to
that's
action here. And then I want to hear from some of you guys that are going Inner Circle, and I want to hear why. I want to hear why. I'm curious.
Yeah,
What do they do to go to buy this thing?
Clifton's about to open it right now. So if you guys are logged in right now, go ahead and log out, and I'm gonna show you here in a second.
While that's going on, blink your hand like crazy while you're going to Inner Circle. If you want to share for just like 1 second, I'm going to call you out. Blink your hand like crazy, and I'll figure something out. Oh my gosh, this is a party down here. You got to keep blinking it though, because Otherwise it just. Oh
Let me
my
give
gosh.
let me
What?
give this little tutorial real quick. It takes.
All right. Oh my gosh. Okay, you guys stop
This
taking
is hilarious.
Stop.
I love
Okay,
it. All right.
go.
So for those of you guys who want to upgrade, which I see like everybody is, all you got to do, log in like you normally would. For those of you guys who are spying on us, you first have to get access. So you have to get back to somebody who brought you here. So message them on Facebook. Do what you got to do just to get access. It's only $14.95 a month to get access. But most of you guys on here are ready to rock and roll to go to Inner Circle. So you just log in like normal. Go click here to get started. Once you get there, we must have a lot of activity going on. I'm going a little bit slower. All right, and then apprentice training. Scroll down below. Go down to Inner Circle training. Over here, actually, I wanted to log into my. Oh, I gotta log out real quick. Go ahead and get somebody queued up to start talking, and I'll log back in.
Yeah. Okay, so here's the deal. Now we're doing the Blinky Fest again. Blink away if you're joining Inner Circle, and just tell us what I'm interested what you learned tonight. What did you learn tonight, and why are you going to the next level with us on that inner? You got to keep blinking it though, because some are static, and I want to make sure it's blinkies.
All right, here we go one more time. Okay, log in. Go down to the Inner Circle. If you're not already upgraded, check this out, Mark. This is actually I'm pretty excited about what Cliff did. Go down to the Inner Circle. Go over to Join Inner Circle. Click on that. Once you click on that, then here's your checkout page. You're going to look up here your ILN sponsor. So you're going to make sure your ILN sponsor's right. Okay, so that's first things first. If your sponsor for whatever reason isn't right here it says, if this person is not your sponsor, click here to contact support. Click on that.
What a great freaking feature.
Yeah, I know. It's awesome. And then Clifton is awesome. Ridiculous. And then right here, you can literally submit a support request, and they'll make sure they switch you and let us know who your sponsor is supposed to be and all that good stuff. Sometimes in the beginning, people clicked on their own link, they clicked on the wrong one, whatever. Now we got to make sure that you guys are tied up. All right. So it's $95 tonight. Your referral is going to get $50. So it's pretty cool every single month. And then down here, if you're already in the system, what's nice is it should fill out your information. Some of you guys might have to fill out your information yourself. But you should have your credit card already loaded in here for you, so you don't have to mess with that. Once you insert your credit card, or once you pick what card you want to use, all you got to do is hit place order. That's it. All right, and once you place order, you'll be rocking, and then you'll be able to get access to the university. So go ahead, Mark, pull somebody out. People are blinking.
You know what? Just real quick, like major kudos to you guys for setting this up. I haven't seen this process, but just like the tracking of the affiliate thing is just so clean and beautiful. It makes buying easy. I love it. All right, here's the deal. We're going to do rapid fire 30 second while you're going Inner Circle. Let's do 10 people really fast. Just raise your hand once so it's up. I want to do 10. It's a game for me, okay? Here we go. Renee is live. Renee, 30 seconds. What's up, girl?
Hi, I find so much value all the time in everything that you do, and I'm so ready to step it up to the next level and just explode everything and walk in the path that you, Mark, and Vincent are walking in. You guys just are such an inspiration. Thank you.
I love it. Okay, that's 2. We've got John Palmer. We're going to attempt it, John. John, are you out there?
I am.
John, you did it. You did what Michelle Pesco-Solido could not do. Just Michelle. Michelle, I'm buying you a bottle of wine next time I see you for all the crap. But John, thanks for your continued support and patronage, and you know your own story is awesome. I see you out there spreading your influence, and it's awesome. So why Inner Circle for you?
Well, why not? Makes sense.
You know, John, you were one of the first Solomon CEO buyers, weren't you? I mean, this was like years ago. Am I thinking?
As a matter of fact, and I was an affiliate for you.
Back in the, you were one of, oh, man.
And you paid me a couple of grand.
Awesome.
Well, you had that network of, what were they, insurance, or you had a network of guys that just went crazy.
I had a bunch of guys that were financial planners all over the country.
And they loved, did they like, were they glad they bought it at the end of the day?
Oh, yeah, I've got no complaints. A bunch of them called me first. They knew me. I mean, this wasn't just kind of a wild ass list.
You put your reputation on the line, John, is what you're saying.
Right. I did what I call, I took a chance on killing my list.
Yeah. And you did it. John, thank you so much for your ongoing patronage. You rock, and you're going to love Inner Circle.
Quick,
we got you on lockdown. Here we go. Let's go. We got Jason.
Hold on. I forgot. All right, so our event, oh my God, we didn't even talk about this yet. August 23rd and 24th, what we're doing for the action takers. All right, we're going to do, you guys are going to get this email afterwards. We're going to see you come in a certain order that you come in. But remember, Inner Circle is going to get the first dibs on these pricing tickets. Okay, these ticket pricing, whatever. The first 50 people to join Inner Circle, they're going to be getting it for $45. All right, that entire event. Okay, the next 50 people, $95 for the for the ticket for the event. The next 50 people, $95. All right, the next 50 people, $145. Next 50 people, $195, and so on. If we trickle over 200, that's fine. We're not going to go much over that, and then we'll let you guys know where we're going to go from there. But I just want to let you guys know, don't worry about tonight. We're going to get you guys the link for the event tickets tomorrow. We're just going to see the order that you come in tonight, and that's how we're going to find out who our first 50, next 50, all that good stuff goes down. So I just want to let you guys know on that part of the deal. Are we going to have a blast in Arizona or what, Mark?
Oh my gosh. I'm so pumped. It's just, it takes everything to a more concrete level. And here's what I really want to encourage, because I've noticed a lot of our family in here is they've been around the internet for a little while. And I almost promise you that it's the people, and I can go after, I'm like an old ancient dinosaur in online years. 5 years is like, a founding father of the internet or something nowadays. But I've seen people that struggled for 2 straight years, and now they make 10, 15,000 a month, 20,000 a month with whatever products and programs. It doesn't even matter. They just they didn't quit. They kept believing that something was there because that attitude was there, and the solution showed up, and that's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen for a lot of you. I mean, a lot of you. Real quick, Vince, I'm just going to share, because we're having a tough time unmuting everybody. This is the merchant, so you can see the amount of people upgrading right now. Can you see that, Vince?
Yeah, we can see it now.
I mean, the upgrades are going hog wild, and that's what we love. And we love it because what it means to me is we've got a deeper level of engagement. It means our affiliates are making more money, which is cool. But it means that the vision of what you've heard tonight, we're just starting. Like, we're going to be dropping bombs for a long time. Vince, I think I gave you the screen back. Let me try to give you the screen back.
Fine. Either way.
Anyway. All right, let's hear from another one, Vince. Let's hear from Tammy. Tammy's got her hand up. Tammy, are you there?
Can you hear me okay?
Tammy, we can hear you. Welcome to Inner Circle. What's shaking?
Oh, fantastic. Well,
so, Tammy,
I have to...
Tell us.
Go ahead.
Why are you going Inner Circle?
So the direct connection is you never know what's going to be presented in front of you. So when something like this is presented, just like this family, all your guys' connection, grab it, run with it. And if it teaches you, this is God's calling right now. Do you see? We're all here for a reason, for sure. We can connect, we can share, absolutely. So if I can learn from the best of the best, and then everyone coming around, you have to grab it, you got to run with it, and the teachings are going to just succeed. We are all going to succeed. So,
Tammy, I absolutely, can you hear me okay? I put it in the microphones. Hey, thank you for sharing your heart there and your passion.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm sure you can hear it. Absolutely.
And I think a big turnabout, whatever people believe, this or that, the other thing, for sure, the powerful thing is if you bring, like, at your heart of heart, at your deepest levels of beliefs of the world, of God, that it's in alignment with that, the deepest thing. And I think that's what I'm hearing from you, Tammy. And that's powerful. So thank you, and welcome to the Inner Circle for sure.
Oh, thank you. God bless.
All right. Let's hear Tammy. That was
Can you see
rocking.
my?
That was rocking. All right, let's hear from another new inner circle. Hand up. We got Graham in his house.
Look,
Graham, my friend, welcome to Inner Circle. Are you there?
Graham is
Graham. Graham, are you there? Are you there?
Well, I'm gonna welcome some people. We got Douglas. Can you see my screen, bro?
We can. Make sure we're not showing anything
Yeah, I'm
sensitive
not.
in this.
So we got Douglas coming in there. We got Michelle Pesco
Love it.
Solido. She said she got kicked off the webinar. Poor Michelle.
I kick her out all the time. Restaurants, conferences.
Robin Mack, welcome. Oops, going a little low. And we got Chantel Duty in the house.
Love
We
it.
got Kathy Brotherton. And make sure you guys are coming in here and your affiliates. You guys are all getting welcome emails and saying, go ahead, screenshot these people's picture and come in here just like Renee did. And congratulations for taking
We gotta get Chantel because she's been blinking for like 20
All right,
minutes.
get her.
So
Get her.
Chantel, your time has come.
Let me see.
Chantel, are you out there?
Hey, yeah, can you hear me?
We can hear you. Thanks for your diligent blinking. I felt like I was getting high fives. Like
Well, something
over.
came to my mind, and I just wanted to say it.
Share it.
And I think this is just awesome because for me, it's always been a struggle to have something to where when you bring, it's really important when you bring other people on the team or into any type of business to give them some training. And it was where I struggled. And so I love, now that ILN has merged with GRN, that we have an amazing training. The webinars that you guys hold just, it really cuts corners for us and saves a lot of time. But I suppose with Inner Circle, the primary reason would be so that I can learn more about how to help and train other people. So
Big time.
that's what I'm looking forward to.
And I think, Chantel, the biggest win is going to be the personal because we're gamifying the content in such a way that engaging it is more manageable because all of us are like super busy. A lot of us have kids, and we don't have kids. We have nieces and nephews and friends and trips, and I mean we're all busy. So gamifying the content for you personally allows just more magnetic like attraction power and confidence in our lives. So I think Inner Circle, the best thing is that we don't just say, okay, here's a new video, go watch.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like it's
Right.
It's really scientifically gamified, and in 5 years everybody will do this, including colleges, I don't know what colleges in 5 years, but in time everything will be gamified, and we just kind of got a head start on what the rest of the world will be
fantastic.
doing. But Chantel, congrats on your business
Thank you.
and your
Thanks
heart
for all
for
you
other
guys do.
people. A huge thing, everybody, is with like Solomon. And, a lot of this is based on Solomon. A lot of it, for me, just came from learning a lot with Solomon. But when he requested wisdom, remember, he ended up with riches and the wealthiest man who ever lived and all these things. But his earnest desire was wisdom. And it wasn't wisdom so he could be smart. His motive was actually other people. He asked for wisdom so he could govern the people and lead the people. And if you're in this industry in any kind of leadership role or desiring to be a leader of a team or anything of that nature at any level, and you have your intent that I'm going to become the best I can so that others can win better, so that I can be a better resource to you. I've had some decisions in the last 6 or 7 months that I made based on the fact that I knew it was going to call a new level of leadership out of me. And I knew that in a year, I told one of my friends, I said, that part of the reason I'm saying yes to this particular vision and I'm taking part is because next year when we have a cigar at this table, I'll be a better man. I just know I will be, because the opportunity is going to force me to become better, and I'm going to be a better mentor. I'm going to be a better coach. I'm going to be a better friend. And the money was side note. I'm like, I think I'll have more money, but if I don't, it doesn't matter because I know I'm going to be better through the experience. So what I heard just now, kind of, Chantel, is that you're doing this so that other people can win more, and that is the golden intention, that everything is rewarded by that kind of motive. So I love it.
Absolutely. Thank you.
You know
Thank
what the
you.
most exciting part about these orders coming in like this is, for me, every single one of these orders, pretty much, I would say 90% of them right now are all are created of us spitting right back out the money to you guys who are bringing people into the network. So this represents so much more than the money. Like, I want you guys to look at these customer orders and visualize. For those of you guys who are out there watching this who want this to happen in your life, I want you to visualize this. Nothing in your life will happen unless you know it's going to happen and you have the vision for it. This is the best screenshot you can look at right now for your life. If you visualize and know this is going to happen in your future, these customer orders coming in over and over by minute, by minute, by minute, by minute, by minute, this can happen to you. It's just so freaking exciting to me, Mark, because this doesn't represent you and I and Clifton and Ashley's money. This represents the people's lives changing, the visions, the future. We're sending half of this money right back out to people who believe in this vision, right? It's just so exciting for me that this is like a monster win every time these come in, minute by minute by minute. It's not about us. It's not about the company. It's not about anything to do with the money. It has everything to do with the freedom that this can create in your life. I mean, this is just crazy. We're sitting behind computer screens. We're having a good time. We're not out slaving away. We're working for our own dreams, and you can have digital money come into your life. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, and the wildest thing about it is when I was having, and I've shared this story 100 times, when I got serious about my goals and what I wanted and these kind of things, I remember I said, Shani said she thought our goal should be $8,000 per month. And I remember going, Shani, like, no, we don't need $8,000 a month. We don't need to be selfish. I remember thinking, if I made $8,000, it would be selfish. And when I changed my mindset to, if I succeed, I can really, truly, because I believed it. Like, I intended to buy my buddy's dentist kind of thing and pay. Well, actually, I didn't know that kind of stuff would happen, but I knew I knew my heart was held back because it couldn't get funded, right? I just knew that was the deal. But when I believed that, hey, if I succeed, people will win. And so in a sense, by me not quitting and by me getting better, and I made it a goal to be one of the best in the world at training. I've made it a goal to be one of the best internet marketers at conversion. And the products that everybody's buying right now were the products that came from the vision that, you know what, if I win, other people are going to win. So now, I mean, if I'm not sending out thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars all the time, it's rare. Raise your hand if you get what I mean. It's not about me. Like, I make, it's about, like, you winning. It's going to just cause so much win for you.
Speaking about that,
it's just ridiculous. So much is riding, so much of your legacy and the experiences of everything, your entire life experience. And somebody's literal life experience is going to hinge, because they're not going to meet me, they're going to meet you, and they're going to resonate with you, and your story is going to touch them, and they're going to join you, and you're going to be the gateway to them achieving their dreams, and you are the gateway for that person. And when that sinks in and you realize, you start kind of living for other people, in a sense, while being fulfilled. It's a powerful psychology, and that's how I'll tell you, we were just doing, I was just submitting for more merchant accounts and more this and that, and like what you go through, like they check, just so they know, like it's based on my personal, credit score. It's based on my personal, like background. Like they check everything out. Like to do business with MasterCard, I was doing a thing with MasterCard today. To do business with MasterCard, they do extensive checks and all sorts of things. Make sure you're not a terrorist. Make sure you're not a criminal. Make sure your credit's good. Like they go deep before they'll do business with you. And I'm like, you know what? If I had DUIs, and I'm not, if you have DUI, I'm not, this is not a judgment or anything, but I'm like, if I didn't watch over my life, like a lot of people would be losing right now. But just through good fortune and like a lot of support, I guess, and just some lucky breaks, and some favor, I've been able to create something for people that is powerful. And your life matters, I guess, is kind of at the end of what I'm saying. Like you showing up big right now, you engaging this content, you learning it, you're going to be the requisite stimulus for somebody's change in their life. Like their whole fabric of being, their whole existence is going to change because you're showing up tonight and you're going to show up tomorrow, and you're going to learn to show up in the way, in like the $1 million day kind of way every day. Raise your hand if that makes sense, that you become the requisite stimulus for people. And people will come and say, it was you, it was your story, it was your video, it was your transparency, it was your product. That's what changed my life. This is the industry to do it, and it's super cool. Vince, I say you take over, and I get out of here. It's just been, I'm going too crazy with that.
All right, rock and roll. I was gonna say something, but I can't remember.
Vince, I think you got to get louder. I don't think you're that loud.
Can you not hear me?
Raise your hand if you can hear Vince really well.
Yo,
Vince,
yo. Let me know if you can hear me good. Raise your hand if you can hear me good.
All right.
I think we're good.
Maybe it's just me. All right, Vince, you got it to take over at this point?
I believe so. I had something for you, but it doesn't really matter. You're going to be back in action for peeps. Never mind. We're good. So.
Wait, so it doesn't even matter.
What? Never mind. Was it it might have been your headphones.
All right, I'm muting out. Talk for a second. I'm going to mute out. And everybody, lots of love. Can't wait to. Hey, really quick, raise your hand if you're coming to Phoenix, just to give a little, so I can get a little visual hand-raising feel here of who's coming. Oh my gosh, this is going to be so sick. Brenda made it work. Kids started school, but she's coming. That's because it's so great. Chris, Byron, Chantel, Christine, Clint. Oh my gosh, this is going to be awesome. Dennis, we will rock and roll. I love it. Jerry, this is going to be so much fun. All right, Vince, you take it over. And everybody, thanks for this webinar. Wouldn't be much fun if you weren't here. you guys, if it was just me and Vince talking, it wouldn't be much fun. But you guys were here, and that's all the energy. So lots of love, Vince. Take it over.
Brother, rock and roll. All right, y'all. Well, I just want to let you know. Okay, there's a couple people, and I don't want you to freak out. There's a couple people yesterday that I said that you got your spot locked because you were already in. But we are past the 50-person mark. So our tickets are now going to be 95 when you join for our live event that's coming up. I just want to let you guys know. So we are definitely past the 50 right now. So when you place your order from now on, your event ticket price is going to be 95 instead of the 45 that we promised. But it's right now. So let me see if I can go back to what we were doing. I don't even know where it's at. It's just madness. I see you guys come on in here, and right now, go ahead. I see that we still have, quite a bit of people still on this webinar. Come on inside of here. Let us know how excited you are. Tell everybody else how excited you are right now. And Kevin Kagi, what? Are you in here, brother? Maybe he's. Are you on this webinar? Hold on. Let me put your hand out. Kevin, are you on this webinar right now? Raise your hand if you're on this webinar. If you're on this webinar right now, I'd freak out. Graham Ham, no, not you, brother. Kevin, he might just have saw that, got excited. All right, let me see. Fraser, are you on here, brother? I want to see if Fraser's on here. Fraser might be asleep. He lives in the UK. Let me look through here real quick. Brenda Gagne, come on out for a second. Raise your hand if you want to come on out really fast. Tell your peeps why it's all fun and exciting around here. All right, let me go and unmute you really quick. All right, Brenda, you're unmuted. Let me show off Brenda real quick. Brenda, what is up? Are you pumped or what for your people? I know that you already have a few people going in the inner circle. I mean, I always like to, from your perspective, because you've been around the industry for a couple of years, which is like a long time actually for the industry, which a lot of people don't realize. I mean, time flies and it's crazy. So what do you feel for your people? Because you already obviously know the value, because Mark, well, for those of you guys who don't know, she's been going under Mark's mentorship for a long time now as well. And it's really about, in our position that we already know Mark's wisdom, things like that, Brenda, like it's really just exciting for us to get other people a part of it, isn't it? I mean, you know for a fact that what they're going to go through is going to be amazing and transformational. You know what I'm saying? So.
Oh, absolutely. And just real quick, can you hear me okay?
Maybe.
Okay, I know there were some issues before, so that's cool. Yeah, the inner circle, I saw the different things in there, and I'm like, yeah, those are amazing trainings. All of those things in there definitely have changed my mindset and gotten to me where I am today. And the mind benders, when he was talking about that just earlier, I thought, wait a minute, mind benders, I don't remember that. And then he talked about No Excuses 1, and I thought, oh my gosh, that's right, because I was there at No Excuses 1, and right after he did that speech that day, a whole group of GRN people went up to his room to have like a little meeting and stuff. And I wasn't in JRN at that point, but I really, really wanted to be. And I knew if that group was together, I wanted to be there. And so I was asking Adam Holland, I'm like, can I get in that room with you? I just wanted to be around the conversation that was in there. And Mark, I sat next to Mark so I could, just listen and be a part of it, because I knew if he was speaking, I really wanted to just be listening to anything that he had to say. And one of the things he said to me at that point, he looked at me, and we had met I went through leadership training, so he kind of knew who I was a little bit. And he was like, so Brenda, how many GRN sales have you made? And I'm like, well, I'm actually not in GRN yet. But it was the fact that I wanted to be around him and learn his wisdom that he has, and all of the programs that are in the inner circle, and plus the gamification that he's talking about is just going to make it a lot more powerful. I mean, I've done a lot of gamification studying a lot lately as well, and it's just really cool what's been put together. So, I've already told my people that I definitely expect them to get into the inner circle for the different trainings that they're going to get, and because I know what it's going to be able to do for them. And it's just, the apprentice is great, but taking it to the next level and really utilizing and getting the advanced strategies that we're going to have in there really is going to take your business to the next level. So that's why I'm just, really glad it's been in there, and I'm excited for my people that have just come in, as well as everybody else that's taken the jump, as well as getting to the events in Phoenix. I mean, that right there, it's going to be fun for one, but if I didn't attend these events that I've attended, there's no way I would be where I am today. The relationships absolutely make a huge difference.
What events did for me too, as well. I mean, super powerful what you just said. But what events did for me is, like, when you take pictures with leaders, right? That immediately bumps your credibility up. It shows your seriousness, and it shows like that you're ready to go. And for other people, that's everything. You know what I'm saying? Like what I did with Jonathan Budd and Mark Overson when I got to that mastermind. Did I meet you there, Brenda? I think I did. Yeah.
Yeah, that's where we met. Remember, we were playing foosball
Yeah.
against Jonathan. We were partners, which is funny because I found a picture of it. I'm like, oh, that's right. That's where I met
It's crazy.
Vincent.
So that's like what changed a lot of people's perspective in the industry of me. They're like, oh, he's getting to these places. He's around these leaders. You know what I'm saying? So what's going to happen is you guys are going to get to these events, and you're literally just going to, like with Brenda and the leaders, and like I wish Fraser was on here, these youngsters that are coming up, and Rhonda and all the people you see on the board and all the other leaders that are going to be there. What's exciting is the main thing that you can really take out of it and how you really make it super, super valuable is first you take your freaking video camera. There's no way you go anywhere without a video camera. But then next thing is when you come up and you actually take pictures with the leaders and things like that. With Brenda was on this leaderboard last week. She's all over the place. She's amazing.
I know this is the first. I was like,
know,
this is
it's
the first week I
crazy.
haven't been on it.
So,
Oh man.
Like you take pictures with leaders, like people instantly look at you like, oh my gosh, this is somebody I definitely want to run with. They're getting there. They're actually showing action. They're taking that next level step. You know what I'm saying? So not only does the value and things like that, I think the best conversations, Brenda, are like when people are just chilling, maybe having a drink or whatever, and you just have like the really deep insight kind of situations. For me, that's what I've learned the most from Mark when I'm just chilling with him, and so that's
Yeah, absolutely. And if you look at my, I did exactly what you said. If you ever go back in my Facebook and you just, you go to photos and you scroll all the way down, all to way back when I got started, that's all I did was I went to No Excuses 1. And oh my gosh, don't do it now. It's going to take forever. But I was pictures of all of the speakers. That was my sole goal, was to make sure that I had a picture with every one of them, that they at least knew who I was or saw my face, so that the next time I saw them they could maybe recognize that we met before. And I would take videos, and I would and at the first time I was even too shy. The absolute first one, I was even kind of too shy to do that. But what I did was I actually held the camera for a lot of other people that wanted to have their pictures taken or ask him different people different things. And I just sat there and I soaked up all the knowledge that these people were doing. And then I was able to take that knowledge that they said, or the little tidbits that they did, and those were all my blog posts and the different things that I learned, and that was my content that I had. And it just showed that I was out there, even though that person may never remember me, because I only met them for 4 seconds while I took a picture with them. I was there, and I took I sacrificed the family and the money to be able to get there, and it makes a big difference. And so being at the events for one, but then also being able to utilize the events in your marketing, it really does. It just kind of catapults you a lot farther than anything else you really can do, at least in this attraction marketing part.
See, a lot of people, like I personally actually thought I could stay behind the computer screen and kill it, right? But I got to a certain level, and what happens is people they start to disconnect. And if you don't show that personal touch, that's when, you know, you just become just another internet marketer versus like an actual relationship builder. And so with Brenda, she's an amazing relationship builder. That's why she's had customers forever, you know, since she started. And that's really what it's all about. If you really want to take this seriously, if you really want, that's what we called it the Internet Lifestyle Network Unleashed. Like if you really want to run with us, you know, and have the future lifestyle forever, it's not, this isn't like a year dream or a 2-year dream. This is like a long-term, like residual income. This is a jump start to anything you want to do in your life. That's what I like about it, Brenda, is like people don't realize, you know, they think that it's just all about, you know, the Internet Lifestyle Network and GRN. They don't realize that this is going to help them for any business. You know what I'm saying? Because most companies, they just want you to filter inside, which of course we have a great comp plan. But, you know, at the end of the day, you know, just from your perspective, you're excited to work with your clients because you know you have a place to bring them, to know that, you know, they can essentially utilize us for whatever target niche they want, right?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the trainings that are in here are entrepreneurial based, they're leadership based. There's stuff that's going to change your perspective on who you are as a person and how you can impact others and open your eyes to things that you just never even knew existed. And you can use that information for any part of your life, any business that you have, or even just dealing with different relationships that you have. So I could talk about all of these trainings that we have in here forever. So I completely wholeheartedly believe in them because they've changed my life and who I thought I was as a person and how I can impact others. And I just know that if people go through it and they really listen and take it to heart, it's going to have the impact that you can see it's having every day with people that are posting, and it's doing exactly, you know,
Rock
what
and
it was
roll. Do you
designed
know
to
if
do.
any of your inner circle action takers are on here, Brenda? Yeah. Do you know if
You mean
any of
on the
them?
webinar? Well, I have Chantel just
Raise
came
your
out,
hand.
and
I'll tell you what.
5 of them that just got in, and so Dennis is on here also. Cindy Watts, she's on here now. I would assume, I can't
If you're
see,
one of
but she
if you're
just
one of
purchased now, so I'm
Brenda's
assuming so too.
referrals, raise your hand if you want to speak. See if you're on here right now. A lot of them are probably actually checking out, but go ahead and raise your hand if you. Okay, here we go. Let me put it back down one more time. Okay, if you're Brenda's, raise your hand if you're on here and you want to speak. Is Graham? Is he one? And
Yeah,
Dennis?
yes, definitely. Graham just came in just into The Apprentice. I think it was yesterday, and he was interested in the inner
Dennis
circle right
is
away
part of your,
also.
right? Dennis?
Right. He just,
Okay.
Mark was talking about
Dennis,
Dennis.
can you
We'll
hear
see
me?
him in Phoenix.
Dennis is here.
Hey, Vincent. Hey, Brenda.
Hey.
Oh, I was freaking out because maybe it hadn't been reset yet. My computer was trying to get to the page. You know, I clicked on join and it's just spinning away, and I'm going, oh no, time's clicking.
Nope.
Oh, you're good.
Yeah, I see from what was on the
Awesome.
screen. Yeah, I got in. You know, so yeah, cool. But yeah, I was in a panic. Gotta get to Phoenix.
That's awesome,
Got to
brother.
get
I'm
to
excited
Phoenix.
to meet you there. Brenda, what do you feel? I mean, ask Dennis something that would be cool for other people to hear, I guess.
Well, sure, because Dennis, I mean, all day you're like, okay, I want to get in. What is it about Phoenix that you want to get back? Because we were just there. You were there in the last one we just had. That wasn't too long ago. Why is it that you really want to get back there? What could you share with people that are maybe like, I'm not sure if I really want to, you know, take the effort to go?
Well, let me try a quick story here. I first met Mark in January 2010 in Portland at Ann Sieg's first live event.
Yep, that was before me.
I know it was. And you've rocketed ahead,
Oh,
which is cool. I'm so glad for anybody's success. Mine is
There you
coming.
absolutely.
But and Mark and I kind of connected, and we saw each other again in Las Vegas, and that was where he first introduced leadership branding. And well, I'm not going to say. No, I won't say what Mark said. But and then following that, the following April 2010 was Las Vegas. That's where he introduced Solomon CEO. And then things in my mother's family's life took a dumper, and I was in trouble. But that's all revived, and seeing Mark, seeing you, seeing everybody in Phoenix, you know, last March, meeting you, Vince, you know, that was fun. We were out, you know,
Yeah,
having a few
man.
kilt lifters, you know, and it was just it was just mind changing, just life changing. It's like I'm back. I'm back around people I like to be around. I mean, it's just I'm getting a little emotional here, but it's true. And then going to NES4, uh, just got through with the ambassador package with
Man, you're
them.
taking action. I
Uh,
love it.
yeah, and yeah, so I've got to be in Phoenix. Got to be in Phoenix, and just hearing Mark, he's gone. So just hearing Mark say, Dennis Roberts is in the house. I
Yeah,
can't tell you what that means. I know he says that. I know he says that. I'm not spilling a lot of stuff out here, but um, and we've communicated on webinars. I should do a product on that. But him saying that, it's like, man, I just he's a
so
tremendous guy.
Dennis,
He's a tremendous guy.
yeah,
And
I'm
anyway,
excited to freaking
let,
have
let me,
our couple beers
yeah.
and chat again, man. I'm ready to rock. So you're ready to rock for the Phoenix with
Oh
us, though,
yeah,
huh? Oh yeah. Okay, man.
oh yeah,
Well, Dennis, I tell you what, let's let
absolutely.
somebody else talk just so we can hear some more excitement. But man, I'm telling you, I am so pumped to see you again, brother. So pumped. All right,
Oh
brother.
well, me too, Vincent, and you
Thank
too,
you.
Brendan, and
Rock and
everybody
roll,
that's
Dennis.
there. Okay.
All right,
All right,
Brenda, we
thanks.
got Graham. Let's pull him out real quick. I'm sorry, I'm probably like just destroying that name. Graham. Hey, can you hear me? How do you pronounce
Hey
your name, brother?
guys,
Graham.
uh,
Oh man, it's easy. What the heck?
Graham,
How you doing, brother? What made you take action today? What made you get up
I'm
in the
doing
inner
good.
circle and just go diving deep into basically changing your life, because that's what it did for me.
Basically, it's to learn to
Learn to
earn, my
earn.
friend. You know that.
What?
I'm tr That's right. I want to get into the lifestyle. I want to pull back on my job, stick around with the family, and but I got to get the education. I got to learn about this, and I came across one of Mark's emails. I heard about GRN and then the internet lifestyle. I kept going through it, and then I found Brenda and watched one of her webinars she had on YouTube, and
Oh, did you
took
guys
it from
hear
there,
that
man.
out there? You watched something about Brenda on a video. Super powerful. That's why we have these video challenges,
Yes.
y'all. 'Cause I know we still got some people spying on us right now who aren't even inside of the group. But if you guys want to really make a difference, video changes everything. Let's do a little learn here. Why is Brenda the person you went with? What do you feel? What is inside of you that was like, Brenda, that's who I want to be with? Like, why did her leadership attract you? What is it about her? For those people who are out here, I want you to think about your leadership and how you're going to attract people into whatever business you're in. So, what is it about Brenda? Why did you join with her?
Well, actually, it's because she
Awesome.
was around you guys.
Leveraging leader.
Be, because what happened is that I knew about Mark because of something else he did futuristic. And I looked about it with JB and stuff, and I couldn't get the techie thing, and I couldn't understand it that much. And then when I got into Brenda and I saw the other videos and I saw other things she was involved in, and then her story, and she moved up and learned and moved up and utilized what she learned, and that's what she's saying. She was learning, utilizing, learning,
Consistent.
utilizing. I said, listen, that's what I'm just gonna, yeah, exactly. So why not emulate what she's doing? So like yesterday, we chatted a bit on Facebook. She sent me a greeting email. She said, here's your housekeeping list. I said, okay. When she contacted me, what are you doing? I'm doing my housekeeping list. That's what I'm going to do and follow the steps that got her where she is and try to forge my path on my own that way too.
And Graham, I have to say you're going to do a really great job because most people don't go through that as soon and as like to the T like I saw that you were doing. When you sent me that message, I was like, okay, and then I'm like, oh yeah, you're supposed to do. That's what I asked people to do. You were almost like one of the first people to actually do that. So that to me just was like, okay, Graham's serious. Graham's someone I'm going to spend some time with even if he really wants to know some stuff. So kudos to you for actually doing the stuff and obviously that if you're stepping up to the inner circle, that just shows me again like, all right, this guy's a player. So I'm going to keep my eye on you, and if you need extra help, then obviously I'm going to be there to help you out because I love working with people that actually really, truly want to do the work and get better. So good job on that.
Thank you so much, Graham.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you.
My pleasure.
All right. All right, so that was
Awesome.
huge, Brenda. Like for people who are out here thinking about leadership and all that kind of stuff, and they want to. So let's say, for example, they were an ILL affiliate and they wanted to attract some people that wanted this community. The reason he joined you is because you were consistent. You were at live events. He saw you around leaders. Boom. So people who are here watching this right now, they can get to our live event, get around leaders, show everybody around them, and bam, they'll have people join you. It's just. A lot of people talk about this, the new little thing that a lot of people say in sales videos. They say talking about like a chocolate cake. Like if you get a recipe from your mom and it's an amazing chocolate cake, and as long as you follow it step by step and you do exactly what it says, it's going to be an amazing chocolate cake just like hers. Well, that's the same thing with internet marketing. As long as you follow step by step and you go through the process that we're going to put you through in the university, there's really no reason that you wouldn't succeed. The only way that you won't succeed is if you don't stay consistent and literally you don't do what we show you in here. Because the training that's inside of here got us to the level that we're at today. That's all there is to it. We were just consistent. That's why we created these points games inside of here, because at the end of the day, if you do these points, you're going to stay consistent, which therefore I know is going to make you successful. That's why there's people making money for the first time ever in here. So Brenda, thanks so much for popping out. I'm going to pop in some new people who are making money for the first time in their life with the Internet Lifestyle Network. So I'm pumped about that. All right, Brenda, rock and roll.
Absolutely.
All right, so Angie, I want to hear from Angie. Let me know if you're on here, Angie, and you wanted to talk and you got your mic ready to rock and roll. So Angie Hernandez has got a cool little story for us. Angie, can you hear me? Yes.
I can. Can you hear me?
You are one of the rock stars that have been online for how many years now trying this?
Well, I jumped online over 5 years ago and was online for about a year, and then I left the scene a little bit.
Can you see yourself on the screen right here? I'm hovering over you. All right, so you've been on for 5 years struggling, you said. I saw your video, and something happened with the Internet Lifestyle Network where you broke through and you already created income. So what is it? Why, Angie? Why is this for the first time? Literally, probably, I would say the easiest way to create an income and change people's lives.
Well, I think one of the biggest keys is wanting to help others first. I know that, of course, a goal is to increase our income and create lifestyle freedom for ourselves. But if we don't put others' wants and desires, and if we're not trying to help other people, the universe, I don't believe, is going to honor our selfishness. I think we need to be helping other people get to their goals and live their dreams, and it naturally will happen for us.
That's kind of like, that's the perspective that I took and changed when I started diving in Mark's training. Because for me, when Mark has these trainings and dreamscapings and things like that, like what he's going to teach people in the back, do you get what I'm saying, kind of, Angie, when he always talks about how you're going to really bless other people, essentially, with what you're doing? Yeah, so that's totally what shifted me.
Yeah,
so
yeah. I think that's a big key, and also another thing is that I finally firmly believe in my heart and in my spirit that your income only grows as much as you do. And so that's another thing about this inner circle thing is there's no way I'm going to miss out on this, because if my growth is stagnant and I don't step it up a notch every chance I get, my income's going to go stagnant, and that's not going to grow either.
That's super powerful, because now when I think about that is like every level that I've made in my business as far as investment, my income has grown exponentially. So like, for example, I started with something, I had like little products, so I had a decent income, and then I made more of an investment to get to the next level, like for GRN. So then I made a bigger income. So now with this network that we've created, we've put in like 30 to 50 grand a month into stuff that we're doing with this. So now for our income and everybody else's income to rise, there's a lot of investment that goes on. So I love that. I love that mentality, because essentially that is what's going to allow you to grow. Every level you step up inside of the network, you're going to grow that much further, and you're going to impact that many more people's lives. And Angie, you've been super consistent, which is super powerful. Is this the most consistent you've ever been, probably, in your business too? And why do you think that is? Do you think
Yes.
that's to do with the gains? What do you think?
Yes. Well, I feel like I found my inner power, my inner strength. And again, like I said in the beginning, I started putting other people first and just wanting to help other people. So that motivates me. And I want to go on there and see who I can help every day. And I want to keep in communication with my peeps and, the group on here. And, anytime somebody has a question, well, I want to help them. And that's attracted people to me, and that's how I've been able to get signups. And I'll tell them, whether you join with me or not, I want to help you. What can I do for you? So I don't care if they join with me or not. And that's, I think, when you let go of that, and it's not about sign up with me. It's about how can I help you? And it just happens.
So true, because at the end of the day, this network, like, we have a great income, obviously, situation, but like when you go and I guess when people ask about what this is all about, in your heart of hearts, do you ever think about the money, or do you really think about what's going to happen in their life for the first time?
Oh, no, I don't think about the money, because it's the excitement and the knowledge and the wisdom of knowing that we're moving forward and bettering our lives, and anyone who jumps on board with us is not going to have a choice but to do the same thing, because we're moving together as a group, and we're going to pull you or push you kicking and screaming. When they come in and they start going through the training and they start going through the action steps, they won't have a choice but to move forward and to kick procrastination's butt and to do things they've never done before. And you get this momentum that you just can't put your brakes on. It's awesome. It's amazing.
I'm going to end right on that, Angie. That's super, super powerful. Well, I appreciate you coming out. Keep rocking it, girl. You are inspiring other people.
Thanks for having me.
Consistent action you're taking. So appreciate you. Rock and roll.
Thank you.
All right. Let me know who wants to speak next. Jason Lagarde up in the house. All right, raise your hand and leave it, brother, so I can see it. There you go. Jason Lagarde. Jason, my brother, right here.
Can you hear me, man?
2 video challenge winner of the week for 7/8 to 7/14. My brother, you've been killing these videos, man. What is so exciting about the Inner Circle and our community in general? Let's first talk about, why are you in the Inner Circle now? Why did you upgrade? Why are you pumped? Why do you know that this is going to take you to the next level?
Well, what's crazy, Vince, to speak to the Inner Circle, I was immediately all in for it. I'm like, that's the next level of training that I need, not only for my own breakthroughs, but in order to be a leader of those folks that feel they got no options. They're beat down, and they just don't know what they can do different. And I didn't really know the deep reason why. It was like a no-brainer to go Inner Circle, until when Mark said it tonight on how we need to learn how to dial in the deeper things. And when he said that phrase, and like how he described, how he helped, buy the round of drinks for the 21-year-old birthday party, and he's an effing badass as he walks out, as they're so impressed by his gratitude, his sharing, his giving, it's leadership, in all kinds of ways. It just hit home, like, that's why I'm here, because, I know about the struggle of, working the full-time job. I still do. and wanting to become something more. And I know that this training, specific to Inner Circle, this is the gateway to allow all of us to dial in those deeper things and go to someone and, like Mark says, can I coach you on that? Can I give you a window? Can I give you let me talk to you for 5 minutes, and maybe we can shift you out of this, and let's see what happens. And so I didn't know that's why until when he said that phrase, it locked it in, and I was like, man, this is the thing.
That's powerful,
this is it.
man. Like, that's really what that's what it's truly about. It's about, showing people that if they tap into something, it's going to, change their future. A lot of people think that it's about the product, or it's about the money, or it's about whatever. But as a lot of you guys heard tonight, it's about the freedom. It's about, being in situations where you can provide. For example, for myself, I think it was about 2 weekends ago or something like that, my buddy and I wanted to go golfing the next morning. And I was like, dude, let's go golfing, because, with internet marketing, spur of the moment, I can do whatever I want. And he was like, man, I don't have enough money to do that. And I was like, and then I thought to myself, I was like, I could either not have this fun day, or I can just pay for him, because it doesn't really matter, And I was like, all right, let's do that. So, I paid for him. We went golfing. We had a freaking blast. And at the end of the day, it was that experience that wouldn't have happened if we didn't have income in our life, right? If I didn't take this lifestyle serious, we might have just gone to our job, or gone to whatever, you know what I'm saying? So you can literally change your lifestyle with income. See, a lot of people think money's bad, or, whatever, it's not all about the money. But at the end of the day, money's going to buy you some damn freedom, and it's going to buy you some fun times. And at the end of the day, this event in Phoenix that we're putting on, it's freaking expensive, and we're going to have a damn blast out there. But at the end of the day, with no money, we weren't going to have a blast. You know what I'm saying? So, Jason, I'm pumped to meet you out there, brother. Are you excited for the event?
Oh, dude. Well, first of all, awesome for me. It's like the first event to actually be here in Phoenix for me. Awesome. I'm usually going everywhere else. So I've already offered to be a taxi service for some folks coming on in Thursday night, saving some cab fare. But no, that event's going to be crazy. I got my specialty fedora ideas for you, Mark, Clifton, and Ashley, and my girl, Rhonda. I got some ideas rolling. And I just want to end with some real quick, because you kind of touched on it with the money, and how we actually don't want the money. Like you said, with that example, you want the experiences. You wanted that experience with your buddies. And when I was listening to Mark talk about what he's done for folks in his life, I remember working at a mortgage company customer service center. And this was years ago, when I just kind of started getting into personal development and checking out that world. I remember I started walking around with coworkers in the cubicles, because I knew I was going to do bigger things. And I started asking them, like, what's something really cool that you've always wanted? Because I want to write it down now, so that down the line I can come back and I can buy that for you as a gift. And there was a guy like, oh man, I love Corvettes. I always wanted a Corvette. I said, cool, dude. Which one? And they looked at me like I was absolutely insane. They're like, what are you doing, dude? You make, $8 an hour in a cubicle doing customer service calls. And but my mindset was like, I'm going to make the moves necessary so I can bless people, the people I care about. Because there's too many people that work so hard in this world, and they don't receive the blessings that they should for the value they provide to others in their lives, whether it's their family, their coworkers, their friends. And I think that's a big part of what a lot of us are doing here with ILN, is we're looking to bless a lot of people through our example and through our leadership. And that's definitely got me pumped up at a whole new level.
If you keep that mentality, for those of you guys who are out there who are listening to this, or kind of feeling that mentality of changing people's lives, as long as you guys keep that out there, like what Jason's going to do, watch Jason. I mean, you're going to soar from this, that mentality in this company, in this community. You're going to soar from that. But if you can out there really deep in your heart of hearts, it's not about just saying it. It's in your heart of hearts. If you really, truly care about getting people to the next level in their life and having the lifestyle, literally, of their dreams, you will soar and you will be successful. That's all there is to it. That's what happened to me, brother. I shifted 8 months ago to people, right? How do I get people to the next level? That's why this entire company was created. How do I get Jason Lagarde to the next level? We create a system so he can utilize it and run with it. You know what I'm saying? So rock and roll, brother. That's where it's at, man. That's where it's at. So I appreciate you, man. I appreciate your consistent action. You're inspiring other people. And that's really, to me, that's what it's all about, consistent action. I know you're going to change people's lives, brother. So.
Hey, brother, we're doing it all together. This family is, like Mark said, we've only begun, but we're going to be dropping bombs and just blowing it up, especially after that event here in Phoenix. So, folks, if you haven't got on board yet, get your butts in those seats if you can, because I know Vincent and Clifton and Ashley and Mark, this is going to be life-shifting for all of us. And yeah, it's nothing but up and up and up and up from here. So I appreciate you big time, Vincent. Can't wait to get to, have a few beers or maybe some shots with you in person.
I am ready to partay, have brother. Partay. Well. All right, Jason. Appreciate you coming out, brother.
All right, man.
All right, y'all. So I'm going to give you another quick rundown. If you aren't in the inner circle, I know a lot of you guys are still out there spying on us, and you're not inside the university yet. Because like I said, you got to get back to the person who brought you this webinar if you want to get inside of here so you can upgrade. But what you got to do if you want to upgrade, super simple. Come inside the university. Come on down here to the Inner Circle training, and it's going to say Join Inner Circle right here. Go ahead and click on that. You'll enter a couple details, and you'll be in literally within, like, I don't even know. People are getting in within 3 minutes. So it's really that fast. I don't think that I could show you from the admin perspective what it looks like here anymore. I could log back out, but it's super simple. You log on in and you get rocking and rolling. If there's any other questions, I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, you can see it. There's really no company that kind of goes inside of their private group during a company-wide webinar and says, here, look what's happening. Or they show you their email accounts, or they show you people are joining, or they show you, the life-changing success stories, or they bring people out and they actually, let people talk about the company. There isn't this kind of transparency anywhere on the internet that I've ever seen personally. All right, I mean, you can see this. I mean, you can literally see on Facebook, people are freaking pumped, stoked, hee-haw, fully primed and ready. This webby was awesome, excited. I'm completely stoked, awesome. I mean, I don't have to sit here and tell you this. You can literally see it. That's the beautiful thing about the internet and transparency if you're in a company that is this transparent. And if I was to be super, super honest about, I got to bring out my dome real quick. What's up, y'all? If I was to be super, super honest about why I think that this company, a lot of you guys haven't seen the show here, if I was to be super honest about why this company is exploding, is because we're so transparent. We bring you inside of our homes, we bring you inside of our communities, we bring you just inside of our lives, and that changes everything. It's not about a sales page, right? Because here's what a sales page would be like. It'd be like, yo, blah, 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 blah. I mean, join the company because you're going to make this much. I mean, that sucks, right? Now you can come inside of our life. You can come inside of our community. You can really see what's happening. And you can just, it's all there is to it. I mean, it's not like a game, but it's just really at the end of the day, it's just about upgrading your life so you can go out there and just be that transparent yourself. I mean, it's really that simple. You think about digital money. I mean, there's nothing easier. You don't have to ship products anymore. You don't have to go get a huge inventory anymore. You don't have to do any of that stuff anymore. It's literally digital pixels turning into money. I mean, digital pixels turning into money. I mean, does that not sound ridiculous? And then living the lifestyle of your dreams, just like Mark was talking. I mean, going on the golf course, right? Literally, this video will be playing right now, and I'm not going to be anywhere around my computer. The only reason that you're seeing me live is because it's a live webinar right now, but you're going to see a recording where I'm going to be probably in South Dakota or North Dakota, wherever I'm going with Mark, and we're going to be playing golf, and you're going to take action and purchase tonight or whatever time you watch this, and I'm going to be playing golf, okay? Now, you can either be one of those people who think, I don't want to do that, that's not fair, or you can realize the reality of this situation, step inside my shoes and go, damn, that would be freaking awesome, and take action right now and put yourself in that position. You can see this isn't about me, or it's not about Mark, or it's not about whoever's in this community trying to bring you in. This is about you. If you want to put yourself in these shoes where you can literally leverage this situation, where you can leverage these webinars, where you can leverage the leadership we have, where you can leverage these live events, where you can come and you can take pictures with us so you can show people that you're serious about your business. If you want to do that, you just join right now. There's really no reason that you wouldn't. If you're not joining right now, I would just seriously question why not. But then if you're not, what is it about today? or tomorrow that's going to change? Nothing. You're going to live the same life. And Benjamin Jacobs, Ben, are you on here right now, brother? He said this the other day, and it was so powerful. Literally, if you don't take action now, you're going to be in the exact same situation tomorrow as you are right now. Do you want to be in the exact same situation tomorrow, or do you want to have the situation of literally being able to change your lifestyle for the rest of your life, okay? Now, I'm not going to tell you you're going to get in and your life's going to change overnight, all right? I don't want to tell any of you guys that because that doesn't happen, all right? I've worked really hard to get to this position in my life to where I've created a company like this with my co-founders, okay? We've worked really hard to get there. Mark's worked really hard, okay? So I'm not saying that you're going to get in and it's going to be a piece of cake, but I can tell you working for your own dreams is freaking amazing. I can tell you that this is going to be the easiest thing you're going to find ever on the planet to create a huge income. And I can also tell you that it's freaking fun, okay? It's absolutely fun. There's no way in the world that I would absolutely enjoy working for somebody else's dreams. Literally, some days, there's times where I don't sleep, right? There's days where we're creating systems, and you don't even have to do this because we're creating the system. This is the hard part, what we do. All you got to do is leverage everything. But there's times where I don't even go to bed. It'll be like 30 hours and I haven't slept yet, and I'm not tired because I'm so freaking excited because I'm seeing testimonial after testimonial of people making money for the first time in their life. I'm seeing testimonial after testimonial of people attracting people into their business without having to go attack them. Raise your hand if it would be amazing if you didn't have to attack people anymore and literally you would have people just flooding into your business. Go on, raise your hand if you feel like that would be an amazing shift for your life, okay? Because I know every single person out here who does work on the ground. There's no way in the world that people are just going to come to you. It just doesn't happen like that, okay? I see you guys going crazy because it is the most beautiful situation that can happen in your life. There isn't anything better than people literally flooding into finding out what you do, okay? Finding out what you do. Think about yourself right now on this webinar, especially if you're spying on us, all right? Because I know there's a bunch of you guys still out there and on this, and you're not in this company yet. Think about it. What did I do to bring you into this webinar tonight? What did they do to bring you to this webinar tonight? All they did was send a link. Okay, that's it. They didn't have to go attack you, shake you down, run door to door, sell a bunch of products to you, ship a bunch of stuff, talk to you on the phone for 3 hours just to convince you to maybe get, a $150 auto shipment where you're going to come back and maybe get $30 from it. No, that's not what this is like. We give over 50% commissions back to people. All you got to do is send a link, chill behind a computer screen, have fun, come to these live events and kick it. Our events are ridiculous. I mean, they're freaking parties pretty much. They're essentially, Mark always talks about it, it's like we go back to high school, we have so much fun. I don't even know how to explain it. You just have to get to this live event with us because if you want to experience the most fun you've ever had in your life working, you're going to get to the event. I'm telling you, this is not work. This is like, man, I can't even explain the lifestyle that you get to have on the internet. I mean, it's just insane. I always tell people, at the end of the day, it's not bragging, but literally I'm living in a neighborhood where people are just now getting here and they're 50 years old. They've saved forever just to get in a neighborhood like this, just to finally scrape by to get a house like this, right? To live in a neighborhood like this, to get the prestige, right? It's not about the prestige, it's about the lifestyle you get to have. Okay, at the end of the day, think about me. I'm freaking 28 years old. Okay, what other 28-year-olds do you know hardly on anywhere on the planet who weren't, for one, spoon-fed, right? I was spoon-fed for a long time until I was about like 25, right? And then all of a sudden my money was gone. I didn't have anything I could leverage, right? All my customers right here became from the internet. I had to start over essentially, right? So I was like in the opposite situation. I actually got a lot of things growing up, but now when I was 25, I played college baseball and I was supposed to be really good. I quit on that dream and I was like, shit, I got to figure out something to do, right? What am I going to do? I was either going to have to go to school, maybe grind it out for another 5 years because I jacked around in college. I didn't even come close to a degree that would have mattered. Or I could search something that would allow me to have freedom pretty much as fast as humanly possible. And if you want freedom as fast as humanly possible, you're here right now. You're watching it. You're on the internet. This is what you can do to literally change your life literally within a couple years. Most people's success stories on the internet are anywhere from 3 years to 5 years if you want to get in the leadership role like where we're at right now, okay, where your Mark's at, he's already co-created over $10 million in 5 years. Where I'm at, where I have months where I make up to $50,000 net. Like, if you want to get in this situation, the only place in life that you're going to do it is on the internet. You can scrape and go through, I see people going to wanting to become doctors because it's so cool to become a doctor, but you got to go to school for like 10 years, get into $150,000 of debt, or I think it's like 400,000 now or something crazy, and then maybe get a job now. What if you could work for your own dreams? If you invested 150 grand on the internet, there's no way you could fail. I mean, you'd be doing ads and attracting thousands and thousands of people to you. Could, if you spent like 10 grand a month just sending people to our website and letting these sales letters convert, it'd be just dumb how much money you'd make. Okay, so I am totally, and I don't care if people get pissed at me, completely against the college system or any kind of system that's out there. I mean, if you're a teacher out there, that's cool and everything, but in your heart of hearts, you know that these kids are coming out of that college with $30,000 jobs, $20,000 jobs, and they're spending, $50,000, $150,000 to go through school to come out with those jobs. That's not, teachers are amazing. I love teachers, and I got so much respect for some of my teachers were so cool. But at the end of the day, when you think about it and what you have at your fingertips, literally, we are just typing around, making some videos, having some fun. What you have at your fingertips, what you can do to change your life, is pretty insane when you think about what normal people have to do. Getting up, driving to work, going through all the traffic, maybe getting in wrecks, or people are dying going through wrecks. I don't have to go through rush hour traffic and get myself in that kind of situation. You know what I'm saying? I don't got to do that. I could do it. I chill in my freaking house. You don't have to. I mean, it's even safer when you think about it like that. So, I mean, I'm going crazy right now. But all I got to say is we love you guys. We're excited. I mean, people are coming in you can see it right here. This is just, what else do you need? You know what I'm saying? Like, if you don't see the vision of what can happen for you, because I want you to remember, these new customers coming in, they represent people bringing people in, and we are paying that back out. Okay, as company owners, it's actually funny, all right? We actually split all this money, so you guys as affiliates bringing people in to our community actually make more money than we do per person that you bring in. It is kind of jacked up when you think about it, but it's really all about the internet. It's about the mass value that you can bring, right, per person. So it's exciting times. It's just, I don't really know what else to say besides this is probably the best time you could have ever lived on this planet, because there's never been anything like this. There's never been, literally, when you click a freaking button, you can get money. It's just dumb. So, and then like I said, I just want you always to remember, if you're in a business and you love it, you're in a direct sales business, you got inventory and you love it, what we do is we upgrade your wisdom, so your team will upgrade their wisdom with you. They all become better, bigger leaders, and you guys can run together and still do that business and just attract more customers to you online, okay? Now, I know there is some direct sales places that don't allow you to do as much stuff online, which is fine, but at the end of the day, you're going to learn how to attract people to you. It's all about attraction marketing. They always call it attraction marketing. It's bringing people into you so they want to join you versus you having to go find them. No longer knocking door to door. None of that nonsense. None of that going to those coffee shops, trying to find somebody. Warm chattering's gone. There's no such thing as warm chattering. Online chattering, that's fun, because you never have to worry. It's not tough. It's not hard or whatever. So at the end of the day, if you want to jump inside and join us, rock and roll, get back to the person who brought you to this. If you're not in the university, if you're in the inner circle, then go ahead and upgrade and rock with us. The inner circle is literally going to, I'm telling you, it's just so wild to me. This company was created off of the exact same situation that happened in my life. I jumped in, I literally, this is what happened. I'll give you step by step. I met Mark Hoverson, okay? A lot of people are like, Vince, how did you get to where you're at? I met Mark Hoverson. I got to talk to him a little bit. What we did was I was like, Mark, let's bring your Solomon CEO to my community, which is right here in Solomon Discovery, what you're going to get for $14.95 a month in the apprentice training. Right here. Let's bring that to my community. Let's see what they do. I upgraded my life, my wisdom, all that by going through that course. Then we brought it to the peoples that were following me. And then they loved it. So that's what people are doing right now. And then what he did was we went and moved on to a little bit bigger of a product, okay, which is GRN, which you're going to learn more about that when you join our community. And then I couldn't close anything. So I got upgraded my wisdom, my leadership, but I just couldn't close yet. Right? So this is the first part. You got to upgrade. You got to attract people to you. You got to understand that you have all this opportunity in the world first, but then you got to learn how to close people. So now when you jump inside the inner circle, you're going to learn how to close people right here immediately in the 21 word for word recruiting and closing. You go in here, you learn this, you literally fall asleep to this stuff. I'm not kidding. Like that's what I love about this company is like we aren't just selling an information product or a money-making scheme or anything. Like this is like literally, you don't have to make a damn dime from this company to get ridiculous amounts of value. You'll come in here no matter what you do for the rest of your life, you're going to learn how to close people. Okay, now this doesn't even have to do with closing sales. This has to do with closing people just in your ideas and your mindset and just where you want to go in anything. It's crazy. Your children are going to learn how to listen to you better. I mean, it's just insane. All right, so that's what happened. He gave me that. I jumped in there. I literally, right after I watched that a couple times, went out the next two days later. I made 2 sales, and in our company, you're going to find out in 2 sales, you can make $6,500. It's insane on the product that we have in our back-end high ticket. So I learned from that. All right. And then other than that, I mean, I just started really diving deep into everything that he had to offer. So like Angie was saying earlier, the more you learn, the more value you're going to have, and literally the more income you're going to create. That's all there is to it. I mean, value is what it's all about. It's all about creating that value. And I always tell people, I mean, the only thing that's going to make you money, right? Well, I guess with the internet it's a little bit different, but the only thing that's going to make you money is this right here, your mouth, right? Or your fingertips, if you can type good with those. And I teach you how to do attraction marketing. I told you that in the beginning of the video. This is going to make you money right here at the end, right? That's going to make you some money. And then your mouth's going to make you some money, okay? And that's why we're so focused on the wisdom and the leadership and the training and just the real value. We haven't even talked about the tools yet, right? We have blogs in there. We got all kinds of amazing tools that we haven't even started going crazy with yet. We're that new of a company and it's going this wild. And so, I mean, at the end of the day, for those of you guys who are out there who are in the company or who are in the community still, I want you guys to know that our blogs are going to be coming out soon, but we are so focused on this wisdom right now. We're so focused on this wisdom because when I think about when I started making income, all I did was leverage Mark's products, okay? I didn't do anything crazy besides leverage his products and upgrade my wisdom. Now we're going to get you to the next level here in a little bit. We're going to get you into having your own blog so you can start doing your own videos on your own blog and attract even more people to you. But the first thing you can do, just jump on Facebook. All of you guys have easily 200 friends on Facebook, easily, minimum, okay? And that's why we teach you Facebook marketing right out the gate. So rock and roll, y'all. Have a beautiful night. Raise your hand if you got a lot of value from the Webby. I see tons of people are still on here. Love you guys. Thank you so much for being with me for 2.5 hours. If you guys know me by now, I don't get off the webinar for less than 2 hours. So I know you guys are all laughing at me right there. But at the end of the day, I got too much value to give. We got too much love and we got too much respect for you guys. We want to make sure that at the end of the day that you guys are going to have everything that you need to succeed. So you don't have to go anywhere else. You don't have to find any more shiny object nonsense. You don't got to find any more companies. You don't got to think about anything else. We want to bring it all right here to you. And we just want to show you that this lifestyle is so attainable, and it's attainable very, very fast. Love you guys. Have a beautiful night, and I'll see you inside the group. Rock and roll, y'all.